welcome to another episode of Between the Covers, where everybody comes to enjoy the hobby.
Oh my.
Our Sunday
That's
comic book
filthy.
show.
Wait, what?
That's filthy.
That's
Between
your,
the Covers.
That's dirty.
where everybody comes.
Everything.
You're monetized
Everybody-
now. You
where
gotta
everybody
clean
the
things
hobby.
up.
Where everybody comes to celebrate the hobby.
All right, I'm in. Fuck it. What do we? I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you missed the tagline.
No,
At least we're coming to celebrate the hobby, not coming because of the hobby.
Well, some of those covers do have a lot of
Oh,
comic
I've
book
actually-
fans, a
I've
little
actually-
razz.
I used
What's
to.
wrong with coming for the hobby?
I used to actually specifically. You know, you want to talk about? Let me tell you how great my mom is. I used to send her when I was doing time. I discovered the X-rated comic books, right? It wasn't Batman, but it looked like Batman. There was one with a centaur. It was some crazy shit, right?
Centaur.
Yeah, it was a centaur, like a half horse. I mean, I don't know if I don't think I ever saw him doing it, but I mean, it was like this really crazy. And I would tell my mom, hey, it's like, can you go to the comic book store and ask for this specific? I can't remember his name, this specific artist, and my mom did it, and that's crazy because most moms would be like, you want me to do what?
Was the centaur hung like a horse?
He definitely was. He definitely was. Vouch would approve. Vouch would approve.
I don't know what's going on here. We're talking about centaurs and horse hung.
Well, it wasn't. They weren't just.
I mean,
it was more erotic than X-rated. But when somebody died, like it was like the old school, like this Batman character. He looked like Batman, but he would punch him so hard, like it would rip their face off. It was brutal. These comics were brutal. So I don't know. Hey, I was in prison, man. I had to stay on my toes, man.
Hey, Joe, you got anything you want to show?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Matrell. Hey, Brogu.
I got a bunch of shit just came in. So
You
Let's
wait till
see.
you see what comes in. What I show tomorrow night. Everything comes in tomorrow. All my
Let's see.
slabs I've been ordering.
So let's start here with oh, that's you.
There you go.
There you go.
Oof.
Stories. More Planet Stories. I like my old pulps. More Planet
Nice.
Stories. Oh, nice.
They don't make covers like that anymore.
Mid 1940s, and we got some Gun Honey, the cosplay series.
Why does that look like Justine Chastain? That's her name?
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. It looks like her a little.
A little bit.
Who was the one that was on Mad Men?
It's Christina Hendricks.
Christina Hendricks. I always get those two mixed up. Always. I got some Conan. I got some Conan books. Remember I told you like somebody gave me like a shitload of comics.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
A lot of them are messed up. Some of them are actually old action comics.
Oh, nice. Little.
Slide 'em. Well,
Oh,
They
was
make
that
horses.
Bruce Campbell? Was that?
Yep.
I love that
Yeah,
ad
it's
cover, man.
Yeah, I do like
Yeah.
that a lot, man.
Yeah, they
Martha
continued the series where the movie left off.
Ooh, Cole. The Cole. Yeah. Crave.
Which movie? Wait, which movie?
What was the last
Army
one?
of Darkness.
Army of
Oh,
Darkness.
of Darkness.
I thought when you said that he was showing a Conan cover. I'm like, what?
No, they picked up the.
No, wait, go back, Joe, go back. I want to see that cover.
Mine and Merrimack?
Closer?
It's,
Wow.
Rebecca Puebla
That is-
cover.
Yeah, but look at that. Look at
Isn't
the
that cool?
contrast. That is.
Isn't
look,
that amazing?
Look at the use of light and shot. Wow,
Yeah,
Wow.
it's-
that's my favorite one
great
I've seen so far.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's one of my favorite artists that I want to get more work because she's fantastic.
I love when they juxtapose composition like that. Oh God, it's
Yeah.
it's. I wish I could do that. I've tried to airbrush like that. I just can't get the shadow and light right. It always comes out cartoony looking.
You always pick up some of the best covers, Joe.
It does.
Masterpiece. There's a logo.
That's a good She-Hulk cover.
Last but not least, you got to throw some Xenoscope in there somewhere.
Oh, Wonderland.
Xenoscope is the comics you hide from
Yeah.
your wives.
No, I leave mine. These are easy. Telescope's easy. It's the Kickstarter
Oh,
stuff. That's
cool.
the Kickstarter
Got it.
stuff is the stuff that gets a little.
I got a super chat. Voltaire, congrats on monetization. Buy yourself a Fresca or something like this.
Why did Voltaire say that? I don't know why that Fresca line made me laugh.
Fresca.
Voltaire's a trip, dude. I could listen
He's
to
so
him talk.
funny.
Is he
I
Judge
can listen to
Schmales? What's
I could listen to Voltaire talk all night, man. I don't know why. There's just something about the way he talks about stuff. It's so funny to me.
That's it.
Yep.
I guess I'll remind people that tomorrow night during Monday Madness, the 1K celebration giveaway stream, I'm warning you now, it's going to be between 3 and 4 hours because we're going to have fun. We're going all out.
I know, and I'm not
this-
coming on. I'm not jumping anywhere near that panel because I'm wanting that Wonder Woman right there, and that's why
This
I'm not
Wonder
getting on
Woman-
there.
this Wonder Woman will be one of the giveaways.
I want that book.
I want this book.
I have the non-foiled.
And
I rarely buy comics anymore, guys. It's mostly more graphic novels or indie stuff. But I tell you, that cover, something about that Wonder Woman cover, makes me want that book.
Oh, nice.
first
Oh,
appearance
that
of-
is an awesome
Jason-
cover.
Is
Jason
that
Todd.
right? Oh, it's
That's
Jason
Red
Todd?
Hood.
Yeah, Jason Todd is Red Hood.
Why does it look like that?
The J-
I thought that was Joker. Didn't they just?
That looks
Well,
like the Joker version of Red
yeah.
Hood, but
Yeah.
and a little first fight between Superman, Shazam, and Black Adam. Not bad. 9.6 for a 1982 book. Yay!
Yeah, that era is normally a pile of shit in a box.
Ultimate Comics number 5.
Yeah.
Goddamn 9.6 again. I'm trying to get
um,
a 9.8 in this bastards.
I have it raw,
It's so hard.
but I've always been lazy about it.
And this will probably be up later on Instagram. Might sell this because I just got an upgrade of this book coming in.
ooh,
First appearance of Harley Quinn in comics.
ooh.
Yeah, book will sell at any grade.
Yeah,
Always does.
I upgraded my current. I'm upgraded to like a 9.6.
Just show it the perp. Just show it the perp. He'll probably cut a check right now.
Purple?
Purple?
Does this mean you ain't going to be cussing now? Get the fuck out. I read a Xenoscope book, Holmes and Houdini. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Holmes and Houdini is a decent series.
All out war to last man standing between Marvel and DC Comics. Who's winning? DC, of course.
We should watch Friday on the Qualified when we
Yeah.
have our
No.
DC versus Marvel keys.
Let's fix that. Hold on. Let's even the odds, okay? DC minus Superman. Now who wins?
DC.
Marvel.
DC. Well, DC is Batman.
Are we still counting?
Batman always carries DC.
Are we still counting? Are we counting? Villains too?
I don't know if we're. I was just thinking heroes. I wasn't thinking villains.
Yeah.
You put a guy like Destro in the mix with Batman. Yeah, that's a bad day for anybody.
Yeah, and freaking Batman will just come up with ways to nullify everybody's powers anyway.
Not in the Marvel universe. He may not know them as well as he knows the DC people. Those are contingency plans.
Listen, he's Batman. He has multi-dimensional machines that spy on
We
everyone.
got a. I'm just letting you know, we got a pretty cool Batman too. He just happens to be named Daredevil. We got a pretty cool
I thought,
Batman.
I thought he was named Moon Knight.
It was
I don't like Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight's all right, but I really think if Marvel, I've always wanted to do a comparison with you guys when it comes to that. Like,
Chris spoke the
minute.
blasphemies.
who's the Marvel's Batman?
Marvel's
is-
Batman
it
is
is
either
Moon
gonna
Knight.
be Moon Knight or Daredevil.
Or
Okay.
what's that guy?
It's
What's that
Moon Knight.
guy from not the Eternals, the other wannabe Justice League that they have?
Squadron Supreme.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
I'll-
made up. That's a made up fuck you to DC kind of thing. That's not.
Yeah,
That's not
DC
really
still
a
has Wonder
thing.
Woman, so DC wins.
and Batman. They got the Justice League, and the Avengers are cool, but they couldn't beat the Justice League.
Yeah,
That's-
Batman's equivalent is
All I
definitely
have,
Moon Knight. Rich
all I
guy
have
with
to say to
gadgets.
you guys is Omega level mutants. Marvel wins, hands down.
Eh. Eh.
No, because Bruce would just go out and find a whole bunch of metal that Magneto helmet's made out of and put it on everybody. Like, I mean, telling you, man, you could
Put
we
on a
couldn't even-
raincoat for
we
Storm.
could-
Come on.
Yeah, we couldn't
Dude,
we couldn't even
dude.
use our biggest weapon in Professor X or Jean Grey. Like,
Dude.
we wouldn't even be able to allow to do that.
Oh no! Jean doesn't need her telepathy when she has the Phoenix Force. I'm sorry, it's a force of nature. It's cosmic, bro. I'm telling you. Certain Omega level mutants,
As you guys
they
can tell, I
they are
lean more
stronger
Marvel.
candles. They are stronger candles towards
lean-
anything DC has.
I lean more Marvel. I always have, but I
Listen.
respect what DC has. They have powerhouses, and they have
The-
more complex
I
characters.
used
They
to do
always
that.
have.
I used to lean more Marvel. But
DC has gods
recently
and
I've
monsters,
leaned
man. Gods and monsters.
Yeah, I don't know. I've gone back, and as I'm run filling now, all the stuff I'm run filling and stuff that I'm interested in is almost all DC stuff. More than it
Dark
was Marvel.
side. Let's go. Dark
Oh,
was smack
come
most
on.
of
I don't want to hear
Read
Dark
it.
Side. I don't want to hear Dark. Come on. Come
Can't
on,
take
it's
Dark
Dark
Side
Side.
out of it.
Nah, man, nah.
And there was
I ain't having it, bro. I ain't having it.
and we have evil. I'm having a bad period. Supergirl. You know she doesn't care. She'll just kill anyone.
Oh, Red.
Get over.
Fucking Red Lantern Supergirl. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, that was insane.
Yeah, and
Oh, I
I always
was about
forget.
to
I always forget how strong those fuckers are too. That whole Lantern Corps, is
The Lantern.
crazy OP. Crazy.
Dude, give a Kryptonian a lantern rig. I will say, yeah. Give a Kryptonian a lantern ring. Yeah. What's up, Brian?
Oh.
Yeah, what's up, Brian?
What's going
But
on?
one thing,
Like
Hey,
I
what's going on?
said, Khan would beat everybody in Marvel and DC. Okay, Khan is genetically engineered. He's the super soldier. He would beat everybody.
for anybody that doesn't know what he's
I
talking
don't
about, he's
stump
talking
that
about.
hard for Star Trek, guys.
Thank you. What I would want to see is Aquaman versus Namor. This way he can control Namor because he's just a dumb fish.
What? Namor is not just a dumb fish.
He is.
I mean, he's kind of. I don't know, man.
He's a fish with an attitude, but he's not a dumb fish. I mean, he is
Speaking
a
of-
mutant, people.
He's a
Speaking
stalker
of speaking
fish.
of dumb fish, I did watch Aquaman 2 today on Max. So.
Speaking of dumb fish.
I had fun with that movie. It's too bad.
It was fun.
It was a fun
I
movie.
my only issue with it was they played up Momoa being a dumbass too much when they
Yeah, they
first
made him. They
have
made
him
him.
and his brother back. His brother's a straight guy, and Momoa's the jester, but
Oh,
they made him too much.
I
Momoa's
look at
like
us-
that in every movie, though.
Yeah, but yeah, they did.
Not
they
in
did,
Dune.
They did lean
Oh, yeah,
very
true.
heavy, fast X. on
Not
the
in
road
Dune.
in this one, but
Not
I will
Conan.
say, for me, the best way to describe that movie is Lethal Weapon underwater. I had a lot of fun. You know, I had a lot of fun with that movie, man.
I didn't enjoy it. Truthfully, I liked Mira. She
Yeah,
can shit
no,
on as
I-
many-
I-
she can shit on
dude.
as many beds as she wants. I don't
Do
care. I
whatever
didn't
you
mind
want.
it.
I always
That
sep-
woman is psychotic, man.
She
Come on.
is. She is. But we're always preaching about
I don't have to
separating
live
the
with her.
art from the artist. Are we not? Did she?
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
did.
yeah.
So
She
when
shit
you
in my
watch
bed.
this movie, she didn't phone it in. She did a good
Nope,
job.
she did.
You know.
You know, she's not a bad actress. This is if
No, she's
this
just a
whole
bad
trial
person.
didn't happen, she still will be working if this trial didn't happen. That whole
Did you guys see the most recent adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand?
The 9-part
No.
series or whatever.
Yeah, she was Nadine in that.
That was not a horrible series.
It was
but
pretty good for what it was. They
but-
expanded on it, but
I've gotten so spoiled by Netflix and HBO originals and stuff like that that if I'm watching something and it feels like it was made for TV, even if it was made for TV, I catch myself being a snob and cop an attitude.
Unless it's a Lifetime movie, I enjoy this.
yes, we agree, Cal.
God, come on, man.
Cal, come on.
Another one I love, Aaron, like everyone goes crazy about over what's the one with the Never Back Down, or they go crazy about her with the red hair as Mira, or I really liked her for, believe it or not, and it's a bad movie, but Drive Angry. I thought she was really pretty in Drive Angry, and that one with Kevin Costner where she played the secret agent. 3 days.
Yeah.
Later.
Oh yeah. She was his handler
All right.
or whatever. Yeah.
I have a question from Wax for the panel. Elaine Brock, Entity, Sentry, Death Phoenix for the Phoenix Force, Beyond the Galactus, Dr. Manhattan. Could they be Superman?
Dr. Manhattan could
Manhattan.
challenge. Dr. Manhattan could challenge Superman. I think the Phoenix Force, depending on the host, could challenge Superman. If it's the Phoenix Force with Jean Grey, then yeah, that's a definite match for Superman.
Phoenix Force with Echo.
Phoenix Force. Okay, look, I
Shut up. That was.
I have a soft spot for Echo.
So do I.
I
But
love Echo.
Is it
Giving-
where you hurt your brain?
Giving
That's-
Echo
that's
the
only
Phoenix
soft spot I
Force,
have.
giving Echo the Phoenix Force was a little bit, I don't know, retarded because it retcons a lot of things about the Phoenix Force and mutant hosts, and Echo's just not a mutant. She's
Look,
not.
Listen, let's shy away from comic. Shy away from comic Phoenix Force. And I got one. Okay, I know who could beat Superman with the Phoenix Force.
Goku.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady could
Tom
definitely.
Brady.
Tom Brady could definitely beat-
I was gonna go with Clyde from Any Which Way But Loose, but
or
Hey.
the orangutan from any which
Tom
way we
Brady
look.
can't even beat his wife. Come on.
Oh! Tom Brady can't even beat his wife. He just went there with that. Holy crap.
Flash Gordon. Flash
She gives him
Gordon
an
with
allowance.
the Phoenix Force
Ex-wife.
could maybe win.
Tom Brady can't even beat his wife. Oh my god.
Straight up, a ladies present.
Hey, what's up, Mama Bear? How you doing?
my behavior has been exemplary. Nothing.
Mine kind of is. I hope, like, I'll just say this about Mama Bear. She seems super nice, and I hope she's not taking any of the stuff I say about other people personal, because it's not directed at her. And I don't know if she knows what I'm talking about, but someday she might find. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I've just got, but she seems sweet, so that's why I don't bring it up anymore unless it's on my channel.
Like
You're an evil mutant, Chris.
Hey man, hashtag.
this channel is friends to all communities.
We are friends to all communities.
Thank you.
Yes.
Except for the ones I disagree with.
Yeah, well, no,
Ah,
I
They can
just
all
can't-
eat it.
I can't help it when somebody. I can't help it when somebody makes it personal with me, though. If you make it personal with me, I'm gonna make it personal back. You know.
all right, let me just do this before we actually start the show.
Wait, we didn't
The
start the
views-
show.
We haven't started the
the-
show.
The
Just scratched
views of
23 minutes
Chris Bipolar Jedi
That's
do
not-
not reflect the
That should be-
views of Kingdom of Nerds now that he's part of the community.
That should be a given because everyone knows I got kind of a mouthpiece on me. But now that you mention it, give me a full screen again. Give me a full screen again, Brucey.
Oh.
Look at that. Remember the scene in the 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's like, all this, homie, all this premeditated, all this right here premeditated. Remember when he started showing the goatee and everything? You know what the scene I'm talking about? Anybody?
You want a solo? You got a solo.
I was talking about you. So I can see your cut. I look like I'm 49. I don't look a day over 48. Look at that. See now, all that premeditated, partner. All that right there is premeditated.
That's
We're
what
trying
a straight razor gets you, and a good barber. You know-
I honestly don't know if I could. I don't know, man. I've watched too many mafia movies. I don't know if I could let fuck shave me with a straight razor, man. I don't know, dude.
You know your barber's a good barber if they're taking phone calls, texts, eating, and dancing while they're cutting your hair.
Oh, see, I want to go to that barber shop now.
Yeah, there's only a few barbers I trust.
Dominican
Especially with
barbers
the
are
straight
the
razor.
best.
There's only a few people I trust with a razor blade at my throat. Okay.
My
used to
mom, maybe, and even
I
then, cut the deck.
I used to go to this old Italian guy. He was the best. It's a little walk down, literally 5x5 room, old TV, pictures of Dean Martin all over the place. It's fantastic.
You
Yeah,
guys,
I love like that too. I
you
love
guys
stuff
seen The Color Purple, right? The
Yeah.
original?
Which
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
When Silly's about to slice her and grab her hair like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. Mister turns around and is like,
Yeah, I've seen the Spielberg one.
Oh.
I was hoping you weren't talking about that new one, man.
No.
I like the new one.
I haven't
I
seen the new one.
But
I
you like
can't do-
musicals.
I
so.
can't do musical. You know, I always lie and say that, but then everyone, like, I was arguing with Ashley. You guys, Ashley the widow. I was
Yeah.
arguing with her about because she wanted me to watch Gypsy, and she's like, "No, Chris, I promise you'll like it." So I watched it, and she was right. I loved it.
I'm okay with some musicals.
So then I
Some.
so,
If Gene Kelly's in it, I'm okay with it.
yeah, so Thade, I start going down the list, right? I'm like, I don't really like musicals. Okay, I like both Grease, I like Rock of Ages, I like Across the Universe, I like Sweeney Todd, and then before I knew it, I had like 20 musicals. I
And
was
you
like, holy
find out
shit!
you actually like musicals.
Then you find
Yeah,
out you actually,
exactly.
I'm like, holy shit! I think I like musicals.
Holy
I-
shit, I like
I-
musicals.
I do not like musicals. I do not like musicals at all.
Jesus Christ Superstar, Hair, Phantom. That I could go on, but anyway. But see, I was a theater kid, so musicals were kind of our thing. Anyway,
So you grew up squishy. No. I'm kidding.
I was a theater kid who played football, man.
I wrestled and played football. Yeah.
I wrestled, I played football, I did powerlifting, but I was also a theater kid, so
All right, let's get
you
this
make
show
it make
back-
sense, okay?
Back on the rails. I have a few topics. First up, Hans Zimmer is already writing music for Dune 3.
Damn
Dennis-
straight.
Wait,
Dennis comes in on the second day of shooting and wordlessly comes in, puts Dune Messiah on my desk, and I know where we're going. I know we're not done.
Yep.
Yay.
Yep,
Yeah, but
gonna
I
do
heard
Dune
Dune-
Messiah.
yeah, but I heard Dune 2 is a flop, guys. Are they even gonna make Dune 3?
Dude,
I
Dune 2
know.
is not a
It's a
flop.
flop. It's such a
Oh, it's
flop.
not. It's a good
Made a
movie?
shit ton of money this week.
It's
No,
a flop. Bad cinema score.
I loved it. I
Um,
loved it. I
it-
loved it.
They
this
put
might
me to
be-
sleep, so it's a bad movie. What other excuses we heard for how bad this movie was this week?
Yeah, no,
I
it
didn't
didn't.
want to
Didn't
see
it
it
get
because of
an
the first
A?
one.
It got an A. It made 81 million domestic.
Domestic.
And I haven't heard one bad thing about it. Like I
It's,
haven't. I loved
um,
it. I can't wait
90
to see it again.
97 international, and those on official could go up. I can understand where you're coming from, Brian. If it's either you love it or you woke up an hour
Well,
into it.
Well, no, here's the deal, okay? This is why I did not like the first one, and I'm sure I don't know. I understand that Dune was the original, okay? It was the thing that Star Wars pulled from.
One of
but-
the things.
Well, yeah, okay, as far as like that, but all I kept seeing in the damn movie was effing Star Wars, okay? It was just they had the Force in there, you know. They talked about spice. I'm just like, dude, just stop. No, I can't.
It's not the
Um,
Force, though.
The whisk. I know that. I know that, and I don't care. Okay, I don't mean to sound rude.
No,
or-
some people just don't like it. I
Any
wasn't.
friends?
I wasn't
and-
gonna give it a
and,
chance.
Okay, here's the other deal, and this is like the most important thing. Okay, and then I got scolded about it because I didn't watch it in the theater. Don't give me that shit either. Okay, if I have to work my remote like a PlayStation 5 controller, that's an ass movie.
Huh?
Huh?
When the dialogue is like this, and the action is just so damn verbose, you got to turn. You're rattling the paint at your neighbor's.
Oh, there were
house.
sound issues. You had sound issues.
Oh, big time, dude! It was ass. It was so bad. No, the first movie was.
I
Such a
think
turnoff.
you said. I
And then
think you said
and
they
it
were
just kind
whispering.
of ended. Well, when they would talk, it was really quiet, or they would whisper. Okay, and then the action is like, Jesus, man, you're in the shit. Like, no, it was just too much for me, man. I don't like having to sit there and work the remote like that. Turn it up, turn it down, turn it up, turn it down. It
When I
doesn't
put
work
the
for me.
smart sound on and it still does that, I get so mad.
Yeah, to each
No,
their
it's
own.
just- but like, no, I aired this out when it came out. I watched it right when it came out, and and everything about it just seemed really douchey, really pompous. I was good. Listening to Denny Villeneuve talk about his movie, he's like, I use this kind of lighting. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my fucking god.
That's no different than listening to Zack Snyder talk about his movies.
I don't listen to Zack Snyder talk about his movies.
I don't know. Filming in an IMAX and seeing the way it looks, at least he can talk about it, and it makes sense more so than some dipshit Marvel director or something like that talking about it. And you're like,
This is
Danny,
true.
I have to admit, there's some good cinematography on those movies. But look, when it comes to Dune, I read the books way before I even watched any of the movies, the miniseries in 2000, any of it. Okay, I started reading those books when I was 12. Okay, because my dad had
many people's gateway into sci-fi.
my dad had all of those books, the first 5 original Frank Herbert Dune novels, in his library. And I started reading the first one because I was bored. All of my friends were at camp for the summer. I liked it. But that's because I have that mindset, I guess. I mean, it can be boring. Trust me, I understand. People don't always like all the heavy political stuff in the story. Some people don't like the prophecy stuff in the story, but I happen to like this series. So
I'm like that with some things. I really am. Like, for example, I'll watch any Star Trek there is, but you can't get me to watch that 1960s original shit. I
can't watch the new shit. I can watch all the old shit, and
I can't watch the new stuff anymore. Once they shattered the glass, it's just like, dude, I can't do that anymore.
Discovery was like a nice hard kick in the balls.
I will say this though, Dave. Now that I've watched these 2 movies and I really love them, and I want to learn a little bit more, but I don't want to read the books. I don't want to go to sleep. I will probably
Audiobooks.
I will probably try to watch Children of Dune. No, I used to read a book a day. There's just some books I'm not interested in. That's one of them. I read the Silmarillion, for God's sake. You know how boring that is? The Elf Bible? I read that shit.
Dude. The first 5 chapters of Fellowship of the Ring is the care and feeding of your Hobbit. It reads like a damn textbook.
It's
Okay.
horrible.
I hate reading Tolkien.
I cannot read Tolkien. I read the Silmarillion though, and it was interesting. But the rest of the Tolkien, well, I read the Hobbit too. But like the rest of Tolkien stuff, I can't do it. He was a college professor that wrote textbooks. Okay, I mean,
I
this
can't
is
even
how
watch
that
it.
is.
It makes me fall asleep watching it, let alone reading
What? You don't like the movies?
it. Too goddamn long.
You know, one thing I
Care
will
less.
say.
I
will
gave them a
say-
rewatch. They were all right.
They're okay, but they're just too long. Go get your
It
shit
just
done and do it.
it further cements why I dislike Liv Tyler. And
That's
it goes
fair.
back to the whispering thing. Because she just kind of took that with her character. And was
Wow,
like,
Right.
you
you know.
diss Arwen like that. All right.
Yeah.
And she's not a good actress. So that's-
No,
know, the one thing I will say about movie talk and commentary about any hobby is I see people getting dogpiled on because they don't like this or they don't see it. They don't view things the way other people do. And I think we just embrace if somebody likes it, loves it, hates it, doesn't want to talk about it. It should be respected no matter
Well,
what.
look,
It's
look.
fun to
I
dogpile,
don't have
dude.
to. I don't have to embrace it, but I can respect it.
I don't agree with what Brian said today at all about Dune. But you know what? Brian's still my friend, and he's allowed his opinions.
Dude,
Okay.
you heard me say it when the movie came out.
I don't remember hearing you say it when the movie came
My
out, man. We're
opinion
talking
on
about a
that one
while
has
ago.
Not changed.
Well, but all I'm saying is, look, you can disagree about a thing and still be friends with a person. You
Yeah,
can.
no,
It's okay. You
I
know.
don't
Yeah,
hate you.
I happen to love Strange New Worlds. Brian thinks it's ass.
I can't wait to vote for Trump.
I think people need to stop trying to get me to watch that show, and then I'll be all right. You know.
Yeah, I haven't told them to watch this since like November.
Yep. Ever since the musical episode, he told me.
Yes.
I am checked
I was like,
out.
You know what? I
Mine's
might
not gonna
test
watch
your.
it.
I might test your logic, Date. I'm just gonna go on Twitter just for the fuck of it, troll everybody, and say I'm voting for Trump and see what happens to me. Watch how many of my friends, quote unquote, will try to
Leave it.
cancel my ass.
Dude,
Dude,
we're
they
not
can't
having that
cancel me
conversation,
about
Chris.
I
All
could
right.
not. I just could
Let's
not.
move
I
on
think
to the
that's
next.
funny.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson secures ownership rights to a multitude of nicknames and catchphrases from the WWE: Candy Ass, Jabroni, Rudy Poo, Rocky Maivia, the People's Champion. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, know your role and shut your mouth. The Rock just bring it. The People's Elbow, Rock Bottom, I know a few bottoms.
How do
It doesn't matter what. The most electrifying man in sports, entertainment, and more. Under
How do
his
you,
TKO agreement, he obtains
I'm
ownership
I'm
of
with
any
ya.
related logos, service marks, all other nicknames, caricatures, voice,
Caricatures?
signature gestures, routines, costumes, or parts of costumes, accessories, and crowns that are related to him during his time in the WWE. This is why I don't put a lot of words on my slides.
Well, listen, I'm just gonna I know where Joe's going and I'm going there too. How the hell do you put a patent or a copyright on a single word or a phrase? And how do you copyright so that means that
Candy
like
ass.
Booker T can't do the book in, even though it looks just like the rock bottom?
Well, I'm assuming that the
Brought to you by
WWE,
Carl's Jr. Oh.
all of these phrases and names were brought up, thought up by WWEF writers back then. These wrestlers didn't think up this stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna pay Vince Russo for half of that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, all I have to say is The Rock's lost his goddamn mind. Like everything he's doing recently, no, no.
I love it. It's brilliant.
It's great.
He's securing his brand.
He is
He's-
literally
Dude's gone off the rails.
No, he hasn't. It's kayfabe. He wants us to think he's
Yeah.
gone off the rails. He
Like,
hasn't.
Please tell
People
me
are
nobody's
still-
taking WWE seriously. Be like, what?
Oh, no.
Yeah, this
Definitely
is a,
not.
This is a work, and he cuts.
You ever
maybe
met
the,
some of the people I know?
Seriously.
he
Yes,
maybe
people
he
take it
maybe
seriously.
he maybe cut the greatest promo of all time. Friday.
I still have to watch it. I've only seen clips.
I didn't see it.
Listen, I still think what he called people from Phoenix, cactus
Crackheads.
licking crackheads.
Cactus licking crackheads. Now Dwayne
Cactus
Johnson
licking
now-
crackheads.
Right.
Yes.
Now that's where the kayfabe comes in. Dwayne Johnson cannot say that. Dwayne Johnson may be our president someday. I really believe that. Okay. The Rock can say that.
I would vote for him.
I vote for The Rock. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I would.
God, dude, come on.
I like
come
how
on,
with
just-
no hesitation. You're like, I
just-
would vote for him. I
Just
know
staring
nothing
at
about his politics, but I would.
I
vote
just,
for him.
just staring in
That
a
shows
world
you
leader's
sad
face and call
state
him
of
a
American
jabroni.
politics.
I would have to
And
see. I would have to see what his policies are before I actually vote. I would have to see where he stands on actual policy and not kayfabe bullshit. Ronald Reagan was an actor at one time, and I bet nobody thought Trump was going to win that shit. You know what I mean? Like people get voted in that we don't see it coming. Like whoa, So I could see The Rock. I mean, come on, the Terminator was the governor of California for how long?
Yeah, that's California.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. I worked at the Secretary of State's office when that happened.
Can we remember Jesse the Body Ventura in the Senate?
Minnesota.
was-
Yeah,
He
Minnesota
was a
senator.
governor. He was a governor.
Governor?
The governor of Minnesota. Yeah.
And a damn good one at that.
Stranger things happen.
And people are stupid.
Yeah, stranger things do happen. Anyway, let's go on.
I think he has positioned himself to reinvent himself as a true businessman, not just
No, dude, he comes off like one of those influencers that like tries to get you on some damn crypto coin.
He's trying to secure his brand.
yeah.
If you guys invest with Acorns, yeah, I don't care, dude. I really don't care. Sorry, man.
Well, I mean, he's going to get to a point where his body can't do all the crazy shit.
Well, his body can't really do all the crazy stuff anyway. So I mean, he really can't. He really don't wrestle anymore.
No, but in terms
So
of making
it's like-
action movies and stuff like that, at some point your body.
He's what, in his 50s now? Late
Yeah,
50s
he-
now?
Early
Yeah.
50s, but yeah, I don't know if
So
he's
this
late
is a
50s.
midlife crisis.
Oh,
Didn't he go through his midlife crisis with Black Adam?
Plus, you got to secure that nut.
leave
you gotta
Black
secure that
Adam
nut for your
alone. That was a
kids and
fine
stuff like
movie.
that. I mean, once you get to that age, it's not about securing the stuff for yourself. It's about generational wealth. And
Yeah, he's
Pass
trying
that
to
down
make
for your kids.
his kids famous or rich, which is cool.
Well,
I get it.
yeah.
I mean, look, the guy comes from one of the
I
largest
don't hate the
wrestling
game.
stables ever. I mean, he's had a career, and I'm not saying it's a bad one. I actually like The Rock. I just think he's got. I don't know. I just have to keep watching this situation with him.
You know, he if you watched the Rock TV show and all the stuff that they make the TV show, those wrestlers got paid shit in that Hawaiian area. They didn't get paid much.
Almost all wrestlers got paid shit back then.
Yeah.
Wrestlers don't even get paid that much today.
And even then, they don't make that much now. You got to
Yeah.
be a big name just to make a couple million a year. You got to
Yeah,
be a
when
Brock Lesnar or
When
yeah,
everything was regional circuits and stuff like that, those guys didn't make shit. They
$50
worked-
a match, maybe.
Yeah, they worked 320 nights out of the goddamn year and make a couple $100 a match if you're
You
lucky.
know, in one episode, his father was like doing a match at a flea market or something. I was like, what the hell?
Well, you know, we talking about these smaller wrestling stuff. You know, just watched the Iron Claw recently, the movie about the Von Erichs, and yeah, they really. I mean, only one of them actually made it to WWF. So, I mean,
Yeah. Kerry, and he had
Kerry.
one foot at the time.
That blows
What?
my mind. That still blows my
One
mind.
foot? What the hell?
Nobody knew he wrecked a
Nobody
motorcycle.
knew he only had one foot.
He
Dude, you
got-
have to watch the documentary. The documentary is way better than the movie.
Documentary's
dude.
better than the movie, but the movie's great. It's a good companion.
I have to
Yeah.
see the movie, but dude, the documentary, there's like two of them.
Yeah,
and it
Bruce. The brother, one of the brothers, Kerry,
Uh-huh.
he won the NWA championship, the regional championship, and he really couldn't handle it. He was having trouble. All the pressure his dad was putting him under, having 4 other brothers, blah blah blah. So he goes out and he gets drunk, goes out on his motorcycle, loses the lower half of his leg, keeps it a secret somehow,
yep.
gets prosthetic, and then goes to the WWF and wins the Intercontinental Championship. What the fuck?
Yeah. He used to shower with his boots on, so other wrestlers wouldn't know he was missing his foot.
Very interesting story, man. Of the stuff these wrestlers go through, and even The Rock. You know, he came from kind of royalty, who his dad was and who his grandpa was, but people
Rocky
hated The Rock.
Johnson.
He had to work for everything he had. Nothing was given to this guy.
Nope,
Everybody hated him.
wasn't.
The locker room hated him. The crowd hated him. The only person that liked him was like, you know, the boss. Like nobody liked him.
Pat
And
Patterson.
now look at him. Now look at him. Look at him.
Hey, he was
Everybody on
lucky.
the planet. Everybody on the
Well, he
planet.
had-
likes The Rock.
He was lucky to get into the professional wrestling because they hated his father after what he did going abroad the wrestle Saudi
Rocky
Arabia or
Johnson.
something?
Yeah, Rocky
Yeah.
Johnson.
You know, he
No,
couldn't use his
Pat-
dad's name to get into it.
Pat Patterson paved the road for him to come back, like 100%. And JR had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, JR.
Jim Ross.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
But like the stable of wrestlers he comes from, that's a big name stable. You know.
Well, dude, that's the Samoan, the Wild Samoans. like
Yeah, that is probably the
Yeah.
biggest bloodline in wrestling.
King
it is,
Iakia,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Or
Hi, Chief
Maivia.
Peter Maivia.
Yeah. So like,
And
yeah,
a lot of
it's a
people don't like
lineage.
wrestling. I get it. It's an acquired taste, but the people who do love it, they are furiously loyal. Like I've been since I
just
was a
know it
kid.
because I like the documentaries. I like the history and the behind the scenes stuff. I don't care too much for the actual product. If I
That's
want to
not
watch
Ryan.
fighting,
I
I'll
love-
watch UFC.
I love Jim Cornette. His little podcast is
Oh, dude.
infinitely entertaining.
Brian, did you watch the? Have you watched any of that Dark Side of the Ring stuff?
I've seen mostly all the episodes. Yeah.
That is some good. I've gotten into watching those here recently. It's really good.
Dude, the story about like Jake the Snake's dad,
Insane.
Haystacks. Oh wow.
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
I saw the one with Macho Man and Elizabeth. That whole thing that was crazy.
Yeah, he was fiercely in love, fiercely jealous, and fiercely on a ton of coke. The dude did a mountain
And,
of coke a day.
and he,
Oh,
he
yeah.
really lost and became the character 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
It
the same
was
thing happened
insane.
to Jim Hellwig, aka the
And-
Ultimate Warrior. He did that. Look at what happened to Chris Benoit, the he
Yeah.
who shall not be named.
Macho
You know?
Man could have been a pro baseball player if he wanted to.
Yeah, I liked his
Sure.
brother too. Lenny Poffo was funny. The genius,
Yeah.
Lenny Poffo. I always thought he was funny. He just died recently
Aurelian
too. Yeah,
Smith.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Man. The Rock owning all that. I'm still not really sure, but I got to be honest, man. I've loved The Rock since he turned heel. I I didn't like that shit he just pulled though. But we all got worked. Max was right. Everybody was right. He fucking worked us, man. I thought for sure.
I called
he
you guys a bunch of marks. You fell for it. I was like,
You guys did fall for it.
because we're not used to seeing him. He always separates those two parts of his life, guys. He's Dwayne Johnson in one place, and he's The Rock when he's in WWE. And the one place he will always be universally loved is in the WWE. And when he came back, and it looked like he was having this ego thing, and he's now he's the new Vince McMahon, right? Like he
Yeah,
literally
that's what I
Vince
figured.
McMahon's job. There's only one person
Yeah.
above him, and it's that Ari guy. So like this guy has a ton of power. People really thought he was ego tripping. Now I think he thought it could work, and he had to steer into the skid, and he turned it into a work afterwards. But a work's still a work, and I'm not gonna lie, I marked the fuck out. For example, if John Cena ever comes back to the Royal Rumble, just like Peacemaker, I'm gonna mark the fuck out. I don't care.
That would be pretty funny.
All right, let's move on from this. Wendell Pierce has been cast as Perry White in James Gunn's Superman.
It works.
I
It
mean, I
works.
guess I liked Lawrence.
At first, I thought that was a
Yeah.
screenshot from Boondocks. I was like, oh no, that's Pear.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. I don't know much about. Honestly, Superman's the one comic I've never really been able to get into, man. I don't know much
Because-
about the lore. I definitely don't know. This
Is it
guy.
because it's boring as shit?
I
It's
saw
not
I
Jackie
boring.
Cooper. Jackie Cooper.
I will
that's
beat
the only
you.
one I know.
No. Listen, hear me out, Bruce. Here's why Superman never connected with me, okay? And why the Punisher will always be my number one, followed by Wolverine. Okay. In order to show courage, you have to be afraid of something. When you are completely indestructible and nothing can hurt you, you're not afraid of anything. And if you're not afraid of anything, you can't be courageous. Plus, he's a motherfucking alien. So that already, you know what I mean? Does he even have a fucking green card? Is he allowed to work here?
Oh, we got some xenophobia. Here we go.
Oh, geez.
Xenophobia. Xenophobia. Hot
it's-
xenophobia off the
No,
presses for you.
This is
No,
why we
okay.
can't. This is why we can't take him anywhere.
I mean, it's
Anyway,
better than-
listen,
this
it
looks
took Zack
obviously
Snyder.
better than Frank Langella. Okay, I'm just saying.
it took Zack Snyder for me
That's
to
not
love Superman because he
I mean, I love
because he-
Frank Langella and everything.
he
else,
humanized
except for
him.
Perry White.
That's why, and a lot of people are like, oh, Chris hates Zack Snyder. Bullshit. I'm one of the only people on the planet that loves Sucker Punch. Stop it. I love Zack Snyder. But
well, that is a true statement. You are one of the
Yeah.
only people on that planet that loves
But-
the
yeah, but he humanized Snyder humanized Superman for me, and then I understood it. I still think that tornado scene was dumb as shit.
Well, if
The
you,
thing about that's the worst part of that movie is Kevin Costner should have not played Pa Kent, but that's beside the point.
I was fine Costner as Pa Kent. I didn't
The
mind
thing about Superman that most people fail to realize from the comic books is that he's incredibly powerful. The thing is he was tempered by Ma and Pa Kent's raising of him, so he doesn't have the same mind space as most Kryptonians do. Most Kryptonians know when they go under a yellow sun, they're gods. Clark really doesn't. He's tempered by Clark Kent.
Most
He's
Kryptonians are dead.
not
you would
anymore.
think that, and now there's a shit ton of them in DC. But that's beside the point. And besides that, you've got the Phantom Zone. The Phantom Zone has dozens of Kryptonian criminals in it. Okay,
The old DC MacGuffin.
but the thing about it
That's
is
the perfect way to describe it. Good job.
Superman's power is tempered by Clark Kent. It's tempered by the fact that he was raised on Earth.
I just
and-
connected with him. You know.
The more recent Superman stuff. I mean, you want to talk about the Superman you're talking about? It's Golden Age Superman. Golden Age Superman could crack a planet in half flying into it.
Right.
Okay.
I like the emotional Superman. I loved it. I loved it when he came back to life, man. And when he saw his mom and he saw his woman, and I when he was a little kid in the closet, and Diane Lane comes up to the door and she's like, "Shh, just listen to my voice." That's a great fucking scene, man. That's a Superman I can get behind.
Where
You
he's
know
tripping
how-
out because of all the noise.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. You know how you said that he doesn't fear anything? He wakes up with fear. He walks around with fear. He fears that he's not going to be able to save everyone and everything on the planet Earth because he loves humanity that much.
Yeah, well, now that I see him as more humanized, I do understand that part. That is a big fear. That's the one thing the villains will always use the heroes. Destroy the innocent to draw them out. Like that's always been that's Spider-Man has to deal with it. Batman, everybody has to deal with it. But It wasn't until I saw Man of Steel that I truly started to enjoy Superman and go back and watch all those movies. And there's only one but that one I can't watch. I'm sorry. The only cool scene is when the bullet hits his eyeball and smashes. That's it.
Oh yeah, that one.
But that's
The
the only,
Rock.
that's the
The
only,
Rock.
and the airplane scene was pretty cool. But I cannot do the Return of Superman, whatever Superman Returns. It's just. Did he
And
even
for-
fight anybody? Did he even fight anybody in that movie? Did he fight anyone? Anything?
No,
I didn't think so.
no, he didn't. No.
I,
So
I
I
will,
don't know,
I,
but so
I
is
will
this-
say,
Is this guy
I
an
will
important character, Bruce?
yes, he's playing Perry White.
Yeah, Perry White.
No,
Perry
is
White.
Perry
Charge of
White
it.
important to the Superman universe? Is he
Yeah,
important?
He's
he-
the
he's
head of the Daily
Clark's
Planet, the
boss.
newspaper Dick Clark works for.
Dick Clark. I will say this to my buddies Jared and Talati, if you're watching this, Superman Wonder Woman relationship is never going to happen because Lois is the love of his life. So
Are they
stop with
trying to
that
ship
Super
that?
Wonder.
Are they shipping? Over there? Really?
No, it's been ever since they did it in New 52. People have been dying for it to come back.
What's
Good
the one
story.
I heard somebody was
I
shipping?
like it.
Zod and Wonder Woman. I heard that one.
I heard
Oh.
Zod and Lois.
Yeah, no, it was Zod and Lois. It wasn't Zod and Wonder. It was Zod and Lois.
What they call it? Zolis? Zois?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Soulless?
Oh my
Zolis?
God.
More like soulless. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I never understood shipping. I never got it. I never understood it. But
Lois is gonna get old and shriveled. I like the Diana Kal-El.
You can't just trade in your wife when she gets old. That's not how that. Oh yeah, it is.
no,
how
but
it
after
works.
she dies, you do have to
You
move
know-
on, right?
You know, Bruce, people do that all the time. But
I just killed myself. I watch Housewives.
But look-
They've been traded in like 4 or 5 times.
look, I liked the angle of it when they used it in the Kingdom Come Elseworld story. You know, Lois was gone. He exiled himself to the fortress for a while, and then you go back to they go back. That Diana goes up to get him. Hey, we need help. The world's crazy. We need Superman. And then they end up with a relationship there. That in that story that works. Mainline Superman, no. It's not Clark. Again, like Bruce said, the man is. Another thing that he's ultimately afraid of every day too is in the process of helping somebody, he'll hurt them because of his strength, because of the power. He's always afraid he's going to hurt the people he's trying to save.
I mean, it's been a while since I've really followed Superman. Is Clark really relevant anymore?
Yes, he's still relevant.
I mean, is he still really pushing the alter ego that much?
Not for years, but
I was going to
since
say, 'cause
they,
I didn't think so, but
That's
but
such
after
a joke.
but after Dark Crisis, they made everyone in the world forget his secret identity.
I don't even
and
want
if
to
you
see Superman with her.
And if you figure out his secret identity, your head explodes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's like the end of Dogma when Alanis Morissette sings and the angels' heads explode because he can't hear God.
Crazy Joe says Zod did not die in Superman 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Depends on which cut of the movie you're watching.
It doesn't matter. What the theatrical person release? What did the director release? It's a deleted scene for a reason.
No. There's a whole lot more behind Superman 2 than with theatrical and what. That's one of the first major
Why-
instances
okay,
of
why
studio
did it-
interference.
It doesn't matter. What's the comic book say?
He's killed Zod, what, twice in the comics? Maybe?
Twice.
And they brought him back?
Yeah, twice.
I mean, I watched Superman. Look, okay, so we're supposed to believe that right after Superman. Can I cook? Can I cook for a minute, Brucey? Listen, I'm supposed
Go
to.
ahead.
Okay. I'm supposed to believe that Superman, immediately after crushing every bone down to powder, in Zod's hand and picking him up and flinging him across the fucking Fortress of Solitude, where he smacks a giant ice ball and slides down a giant cliff. By the way, in Antarctica now. And by the way, Zod is now human. Antarctica,
depowered.
you're gonna freeze to death in about 11 seconds, but whatever. I guess there's a part where Lois was like, "Why ain't I cold?" Okay, so great. So the Fortress of Solitude has space heaters. Whatever. Look, down there at the bottom of that cliff, I'll bet there ain't no
The
heat.
space
Now,
heaters.
now, listen. If
That big throw off symbol is also an emergency blanket.
if Crazy Joe's right about it being a prison that leads to the Phantom Zone or a prison where you keep people, why have we never heard of it before? Why have we never heard of a prison inside of the Fortress of Solitude? Why would you have a prison at the Fortress of Solitude where you
I
go
don't know,
to get
why
away
would
from
you?
that-
Why would you have a jail in the basement of Veterans Stadium? But there we go. You did.
Well, there's
I think
always
he
been-
killed Zod. He killed Zod. I think he
But-
killed Zod.
But there's always been a area of the Fortress of Solitude where he's kept dangerous aliens. So
So okay,
it's
so
not
maybe
it's not some maybe.
it's not outside of the realm of reality.
Yes.
But I watched him crush that man's arm and fling him across immortal, by the way. He probably died when he smacked the ice on impact. Superman just threw you across the Fortress of Solitude and you banged your head on a giant iceberg. Like, I'm just sorry. I'm not gonna. Oh, so Superman he went from crushing his hand to like, okay, I'm not mad anymore. I'm just gonna fling you down into this prison. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I don't
DeGrassi
know.
says he got an interstellar zoo. Why not a jail? All right, next up. First, look at Norman Reedus and Jeff Nichols, the Bike Riders, also starring Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, Jodie Comer, Michael Shannon, and Boyd Holbrook.
I love Jodie Comer.
Ah, Reedus looks badass in this. He really does.
He looks badass in everything.
He
everything.
does. It's insane.
Dude, Norman Reedus is just a badass anyway.
Yeah. Have you ever, man, I like watching his thing where he went over to Europe or whatever and he was looking at all the DVDs and he was talking about all the movies he was in that like French the last DVD store in France or whatever. It's so good to hear him talk about the way he approaches characters and his looks and the things he's afraid of. And I'm telling you, I cannot wait for this movie because that right there, you are looking at a spitting image of my pop. I cannot wait for this movie to come out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it looked really good. I like the trailer.
I just love Jodie Comer.
And Norman Reedus could do no wrong for me. Between
Name a bad
Walking
movie.
Dead,
Name a bad
his
movie.
video game, his movie career.
Boondock Saints 2.
Oh, I love Boondock Saints 2. Wow, yeah, I love that one.
I liked 1 a lot.
One's great, but the second one. Okay, I didn't like Death Stranding. That was okay. Look,
You didn't like the Death Stranding? Really?
Kojima took it a little too sci-fi for me on that one. I was like, whoa, where the fuck are we going with this one?
I was
man?
right at home with that game. Did you see the trailer for the second part? Watch
Yeah,
the trailer for the second one. It's crazy.
I've seen
Stick
people
says
play
it's
it.
a
I've seen
ripoff
them.
of Easy Riders.
No, it's not. It's about the birth of motorcycle gangs, motorcycle clubs. It's not about Easy Riders at all. It's nothing like that. The show is about veterans who came home from World War II and they were suffering from PTSD and they started motorcycle clubs because they used
That's how
to
the
race their-
HA got started.
Yeah.
What's this? The deleted scene that aired on ABC TV shows of arrested and taken to jail.
I actually met
Superman
one of those
crushed his
dudes,
hand and dropped him in the void. He didn't die. The intent was always to bring him back.
Oh, look, Joe's right. Everybody's allowed to have their own headcanon, right? Especially when there's two versions of a movie. All right. I get it. In my version of Justice League instead of Justice League, I love Justice League. But the part where the girls are singing instead of the white stripes,
That was stupid.
when Aquaman goes into the water, give me back that white stripe. That's what I want. But
I don't want Icky Thump either, but
yeah,
um,
everyone's got that, you know. And okay, but I'm saying people are allowed to believe that Zod died. It's not like misinformation. No one's getting hurt, man. Like over believing whether
The white is
you know what I
kidding.
mean? That's all I'm
Terrence
saying.
Stamp still had a good career.
Terrence
Chancellor
Stamp still had a
Vaughan.
magnificent career. Okay.
Yes, he did. The Limey is one of my favorite movies.
And has anybody here not seen Priscilla Queen of the Desert? Great movie.
Oh god, that was so good.
Who was in Star Wars Episode 1?
So
yeah.
good.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it's Terrence. He was Chancellor Valorum.
All right, next up, Disney Plus, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man series will reportedly have 10 episodes. Each episode will be around 30 minutes long.
Good.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh, that works for animation right about now.
Yeah, definitely.
My dog's freaking out. I'm sorry, guys. It's not exactly Callie, but he's still irritating me. This, you know what this reminds me of? There was a time when I loved Spider-Man stuff and things like that. Especially when you're in prison and you've only got so many channels. But while I was inside, there was an MTV animated series of Spider-Man, and it was so good. And I
Yep,
cannot-
Spectacular Spider-Man.
yeah, it was so good. And I wonder why they don't use that kind of animation more often.
I don't like
You
that.
never, you never seen
I-
it?
No, probably not.
It was very based in reality. It was like if Christopher Nolan did a cartoon. Like it was brutal.
It was really good.
Yeah, it only lasted like 8 episodes, but it was good.
Is it on
I-
Disney Plus? Can I watch it there?
I don't know if you can find it at all. You might be
probably
able to
not.
find it. You might be able to find it free on YouTube if you
That
dig.
might be. I'm just happy I have other people in the chat that love the Limey as much as I do. This movie, so that makes
I
me
have to
happy.
say I have not seen it, so I can't really judge that.
I
movie.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed Gangster #1 too. I enjoy everything he's been in. You know what I mean? Like everything.
Wasn't McDowell Gangster #1?
Yeah, it was McDowell. I always get McDowell and Terrence Stamp mixed up. Which one did Caligula?
McDowell.
McDowell.
Okay,
No.
yeah. Okay.
Dr. Soren.
Dr. Tholian Soren.
Yeah, but the Limey's great. Soderbergh
Terrence
movie.
Stamp
Very
is the
good.
voice of the stranger. In that's who. Okay, yeah. You guys probably don't play a lot of video games, but there's a really super main character in the Destiny games.
Yeah.
and
I
he's
love
the-
Destiny.
Yeah,
You play
he's the-
Destiny?
Oh, I dedicated like 3 or 4 years of my life to it.
I got
Yeah.
4,000 hours played on Destiny too.
The voice, the speaker. That's what his name. What is he called? The
Speaker.
speaker. Yeah, the guy that talks for the traveler. That's
the
Terrence
speaker.
Stamp. Yeah, I always get him and Malcolm mixed up, man.
Next up,
Next.
Iman Vellani says she has been assured that she will return to the MCU. They give me breadcrumbs and I try and make a meal out of it. She deserves to come back.
Hey
we
man,
figured she
she's-
would.
fine,
We figured
she's a
she
good
would be back
actress.
anyway.
she's a sweetheart, and she was the best part of that movie.
And
She
she's
was-
writing.
she was the only good part of that movie.
And she's currently writing a comic book for Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I enjoy her as Miss
I haven't
Marvel
read it,
on screen.
so I enjoy her. As long as they bring her family back.
You know, the family what was fun is what was funny, and like when she was freaking out and switching back and forth, and like I didn't hate the movie, I didn't love the movie, but I loved her in the movie.
I
You
still
know,
haven't finished it yet. I
It's
got to
kind
the
of a hard
sing-
watch,
the,
Brian. It
the,
is.
the singing planet, and I stopped.
Yeah,
Yeah, that made me want to punch myself in the dick.
the third act's not bad though.
Minutes.
The third act's not bad.
Look at that
Weak,
long.
5 minutes too long.
weak villain, but a good third act. I'll give it that. It had
Yeah,
a
it
good
was a
third
good
act.
third act.
I don't see the need to punch myself in the dick over anything that comes out, but hey, that's beside the point.
Please hit that like button for hanging out with us on a Sunday evening. You could be doing something else, but
Oh,
I'm
that's
glad
right,
you're
it's
here with
Sunday
us. Sick boy, the Marvels was fun. Iman and definitely made it better. She definitely made it better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her,
it
her
was okay.
and her family dynamic is what makes her and her character and everything, that whole storyline interesting. That's again, it was the only interesting part to me of the Marvels was her.
You know,
her part in it.
during the Marvels, I kept thinking her poor parents, worry sick. They don't know where she's at. She's out in space. They didn't even want her going to a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
A few blocks away. Where was it? I forgot where it was, but and now she's hopping around planet to planet. A poor mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's wormhole hopping from galaxy to galaxy, man. Like she,
All right, next.
What do we got?
but yeah,
guys?
she's so sweet. Every interview I've seen her in, she seems like such a sweet kid, and I hope they don't bury her under all the bullshit politics of backstage bullshit when it comes to money.
Exactly, Mama Bear. I will not ever encourage people to punch themselves in the dick. Ever. That's painful. Don't do that.
It's a
Well,
personal
I'm not gonna
choice.
I'm not a king shame anybody on the panel. Wait, just saying.
Yeah, we're not here to kink shame Joe. Anyway, let's go.
We love Joe. All right, we're moving into some flaming hot covers of New Comic Book Day, which is Wednesday, the 6th. Pick up your hot covers, your hot comics, and first comic up at number 10 is The Fog #1, the 1 in 25 Orzu variant. You
Is
can
this
just see the
is,
fair highs.
is this comic
Yes.
going to be based on the movie The Fog?
I'm
most
in.
of Sumerian stuff.
I'm in.
Most of Sumerian stuff that they do tends to start at that point of the basis of the movie and then carry it different. So they've done American Psycho, which is still going on. They're doing Basic Instinct, and they're doing The Fog as well. So if this follows the way the other ones are, they kind of take it at a certain point. With
I love the
movie and then
original
move it
one.
forward.
And see, since I'm not a big comic book guy, because I feel like it's overwhelming, you can't just jump in. This is something.
can-
This is
yeah, you
the
can pick
Fog
this up.
#1. I can pick this up
Mhm.
and get this whole series. I love it when something like this happens. And by the way,
After the stream, I'll give you a website. You can
yeah,
start reading some
and
books.
one of my favorite movies of all time is The Fog, because Carpenter's my favorite director.
Oh, I love this movie. I love The Fog. I like, contrary to what people said, I like the remake. Also.
I did
No,
too,
the
actually.
remake's not bad.
It
It's
was
a
not
good,
bad.
it's a
It's not.
good ghost story. It's all
Yes.
right. It just doesn't hold a candle
With
to
the Welling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Welling.
With
I
Tom
love
Welling,
Tom
yeah.
Welling. I love Tom Welling.
Yeah.
Dude, probably one of the best Clark Kents ever. Anyway, continue.
That couldn't fly,
Oh,
bastard.
I love Adrian.
You know what's crazy? Not a Superman guy. I've seen all 10 seasons of
Me
Smallville.
too.
Once or
Dude,
twice.
Smallville's
It's a
good
great
because they
show.
had Smallville probably has the best Lex Luthor ever. But
And-
the only reason Michael Rosenbaum was the best Lex Luthor ever is because he had 8 seasons of that show to become Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and he is
Yeah.
my favorite Lex. That one scene when
He
he
is my
finally goes
favorite Lex.
pure
Plus-
evil. That one
Hey,
scene when he
kid-
finally goes pure evil and he's walking down the hallway and they're playing "Kiss My Eyes" by AFI. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
that's my dude. Right
But also, you know, Michael Rosenbaum's is a great guy. I've talked to him. I've met him.
I love his podcast. It's great. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Plus, you had a nerdy little girl who was in a sex cult. You know, it's
Yeah, that
Oh,
was a
leave her
little bit
alone.
Weird. I don't know. What,
Uh-huh.
She got forced into that.
she got forced into that.
oh no, Kingsburg.
what
I
they
know.
are.
she only
I know
groomed people.
I know that I could jump into comics at any time. I'm just saying you can't jump in and not be overwhelmed.
Okay. So, like, no, we're not gonna go into the whole Allison Mack thing because I could say so much about that. But anyway,
All right.
let's go.
Moving on
Let's
to
go.
number 9. We got Batman: The First Night #1, a
Ooh,
Spinal
what's
Pulp
this?
variant.
Aspinwall does great covers all the
Aspinall.
time.
This is a great cover.
That's a badass cover, but what's the story gonna be about? Like,
I
It's
don't
an
know, but it's got-
Elseworlds.
It's got.
is this
like,
an
an
Elseworlds?
It's
Oh,
an
awesome,
Elseworlds,
awesome.
like 1920s
Mm-hmm.
set type.
And it's written by Dan Jurgens.
It's got.
Okay. I'm in. I'm definitely in. Dan Jurgens. Fuck yeah.
Look at
There are
that
a lot
cover.
of good covers on this.
Look at that cover. It's got like a steampunk meets noir type of vibe to it. The way it's
Yeah,
painted. I like
it
that.
does.
I love when they do these covers where the book looks worn out and red.
Yeah,
So
they do
great.
the Warren pulp covers.
Yeah.
which are fun.
Oh, dude, pulp. The pulp era of comic books was so good. Anyway.
Nicholas Holt doing Rosenbaum's podcast is going to be great. Wait, what?
Yeah, Nicholas Holt's going to be a guest on
Oh, nice.
on
That'd be
on
fun.
Inside of You
I'm,
here
I'm
pretty
definitely in it for that. All
Yeah,
right.
his
Yeah.
podcast is good. I enjoy the people he gets on there.
soon. Yeah.
At number
I just-
8.
I just appreciate how real his podcast is.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very laid back.
They get deep into all sorts of shit, you know.
It's what I was gonna say, Kings. It's got a Gotham by Gaslight vibe, and that's one of my favorite animated
It
movies.
does.
It does
Yeah.
just a little bit newer in time, so like more
Yeah.
1920s than late 1800s.
All right, we got
Last
Last
Ronin
Ronin
2.
2, #1, the 1 in 50 green variant.
Dude, the Last Ronin,
Stanford Green all day.
the first story, the Last Ronin was really good. So I hope this one's gonna be good.
And these for people that haven't read The Last Ronin, these aren't your dad's turtles.
Yeah, these are different
No,
turtles.
no, yeah,
Yes.
no. Have you guys ever seen the covers where each turtle is holding the flags of their dead three brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's some of my favorite artwork ever. And that's
Yeah.
saying something because I'm picky, and I'm telling you, man, those 4 covers are so good, and I can't find them, or people want so much for them.
Next up at number 7, we got Torpedo 1972, number 1, the Godfather homage variant.
Got a
Dude,
Kolchak vibe to it, doesn't it? Kolchak the
Dude.
Night
It
Stalker.
does have a cool chick vibe to it.
Dude, I gotta get my hands on this.
That cover is freaking amazing.
That cover is freaking amazing. I
They
like
have
that
it-
that Godfather
have it-
vibe.
They have it without the trade dress, and which is
Uh-huh.
a black cover, and I like this better than because with the hand and the puppet
Yeah,
strings.
you need the trade dress for it to make sense.
Just the top right there where they've got the Godfather. Oh, so good. The Cosa Nostra
Great.
logo. That's so good.
So great. At number 6, we got giant size Spider Gwen number 1, the 1 in 25 cola variant. I
Interesting.
really like this
Cole's
cover.
always
Very
very
different take.
No, I like that. No, you know what's cool about that cover? She's legit taking a selfie. That's cool as shit. That is funny, man.
Becky Cole is always very, very hit or miss with her covers. This is nice.
This is really nice. Sometimes homages do work.
Yeah.
And number 5, we got Spectacular Spider-Man number 1, the 1 in 25 Nakayama variant. Little
I
Miles
actually
and
like
Peter.
that. I actually like that. It's pretty good.
Dude, look, man, bro. Come on, man. That's a great cover.
Hasn't
That's a great. But I like
Because-
anything. I like anytime when you put them both together. I love it.
because it's what Betsy or Becky. I think it's Betsy or Becky Cola is the artist.
The name of the
Okay.
artist, Joe.
Yeah, her last name is Cola.
That is Miles, yeah.
Yeah, Miles and Peter.
Man,
Yeah.
dude.
They finally getting their own book together. Finally.
Has Nakayama done a lot of Spider-Man covers? I don't remember
No.
a lot of Spider-Man Nakayama stuff. So
He has
if
it.
you're a Nakayama fan and a Spider-Man fan, that's a nice bonus.
Yes, Nakayama usually draws
Yeah, usually
top
it's
heavy
chick.
superhero women.
Yeah.
I don't
Getting
know
into
if I don't know.
Nakayama
if
also has some good Star Wars covers
I
too.
catch a lot of shit for this, and I don't know if it's because I just got burnt out on Peter, or well, that came out wrong. But you,
Oh wow.
You got burnt out on Peter, huh?
I
At least
got
you
burnt
didn't
out.
get worn
I
out.
got.
At
I
least
don't
you
know
didn't
if
get
I
worn
got-
out by
yeah.
Peter.
I don't know if I got burnt out on Peter Parker, and that's what made me start loving Miles.
Get the
more.
fuck out of here.
Get the fuck outta here. Wally, get the fuck out of here over here. Look,
Look over here. Over
I
here.
like Miles more, and I catch a lot of shit for that. You know what I mean? For liking, I catch a lot of shit for liking Miles more than
For the
Peter.
last
Miles
10 years,
Morales is Miles Morales.
Miles Morales has been more interesting than Peter's
Wow.
stories has been.
I will
Yeah,
say
they don't know what to do with him.
I will
I
say
know.
the new Ultimate run for Ultimate Spider-Man though does make Peter interesting again.
I like Miles a lot, but I don't think they've done great things with the character. They could have done so much more with the character. They've had subpar series with him. Every volume has been pretty subpar.
Well, This one is
It
pretty
should
good.
be. It should
This
be.
one has been pretty good.
No, I
I
mean
will say
with
that.
him solo.
Yeah,
He
that's
should-
what I'm talking about. Solo book. It's been
he
really good.
should-
Introducing new enemies and
he-
except for
Yeah.
that
Miles
stupid war they
should be a
got going
corner
on.
piece.
Go ahead.
Miles should be a corner piece property for Marvel, and they don't treat that title like that. They don't treat it like X-Men. They don't treat it like Spider-Man. They don't treat it like any of that, and they should, because it's a character that should have that level of respect within.
You get a
within the
good
Marvel
enough
universe.
actor. I'm telling you, you get a good enough actor. You could insert Miles into this Sonyverse that is flopping so hard it's comical.
I know-
I'm telling you, we need a live action Miles Morales.
New rumor is Spider-Man 4's Tom Holland Spider-Man 4 is going to involve Miles, but that's just a rumor.
You know,
I mean, when you-
you really don't need Miles in live action.
And I don't need. I don't need
I
him in
get
live
it. And
action either.
I get it, and nobody asked for him. Okay, I understand, guys.
No,
but there
not
are
that.
people
No, no, no.
but
No,
there are
I just
people
I
that
like him
want-
animated.
There are
The
people
animation
that
is going to
want-
do better than live action. That's why.
Who could? Okay, just real quick though. Give me a Miles. Anybody, quick.
I don't know. I would prefer to be.
That's a hard
nobody.
one. That's a hard
I would
one.
prefer to be a nobody actor, and you.
That's the
you
problem.
Grow into the character.
It's falling flat on its face, Joe. That's coke, bro. That's Sony versus trash, man.
Well, the Sonyverse as a whole, but the animated.
The
Stuff
animated
is great.
stuff is good.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the live action stuff. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
the
about
live
the
action's
animated
awesome,
stuff's
but-
amazing, and I did like the first Venom. Everything after that to me was garbage. It just and the drop off the second week. Yeah, you might make some. You might be able to trick some people into the theaters and make them think they're going to get some Spider. No, for real. You might be able to trick some people into the theaters by showing them a fake ass Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man doesn't show up at all. You might be able to pull it off a couple times, but the second week. The first week, yeah, you're gonna make some money, but that second week, when you're getting like a 60-some% drop off, that lets you know people don't dig that movie, man. They're not digging it. That's just how I feel about the
I
live
just-
action Sony stuff.
In print, I wish Miles got more prominence within Marvel. I mean, Jesus Christ, ASM has a freaking ratio every
Oh,
damn issue
God.
and 40,000 covers every single time, no matter how bad JR has forgotten how to draw.
He has to be one of the worst artists currently in the game. Behind what's his name? With his shitty Wolverine covers he did last year.
Who, Frank Miller?
Frank Miller, but he gets a pass because he's halfway alive.
Yeah,
People
but
have
I
to
mean-
literally hold his hands for him to draw.
But I mean, like I said, but with Miles, it's like that title. I forget that title exists all the time, which is sad. It's not put in the place of prominence it deserves.
And that that was it the war they had just recently, the gang war across all
Yeah,
the titles.
gang war.
Oh, that was so bad.
I mean, I'm forced to muddle through like 75 X titles of some weird cross story crazy arc that it had forces me to read 40 titles and 50 issues across whatever, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
funny.
like too much
Some
work.
people,
What was that, Brian?
I said that sounds like too much work.
It is.
That's
is.
a lot
I
of
just
work.
wanna
Yeah, that sounds
I
like
just-
a lot of work.
I just wish they would put that much effort into Miles and promote it appropriately.
it's
because a
funny.
future
I hear
character for them.
some people complain about what the X books are doing, but then I don't have a problem with it. But then
I
again,
like it better than Krakoa. I will say that. I couldn't stand Krakoa.
I liked the Krakoa era. That's one
I'm
place where we
glad it's
disagree with each
ending.
other.
I'm glad it's ending. All right, let's move on. Number 4. Ultimate X-Men number 1, the 1 in 100 Inhawk Lee Virgin variant.
I like that. It's actually pretty nice.
It's a
That's
really good
armor
cover.
on the cover, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's armor. Yeah.
Never been into. I'm sorry, guys. This is one of the covers I don't really. I just not into anime art. I never.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, like Chris, Ultimate X-Men, it's like beginning anew in a different universe. So if you haven't read an X-Men book up until now, you could pick this up and
Yeah,
follow
I
along
don't,
with the story.
I don't know if Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men is really going to be a good jumping off point for
Yes,
somebody's
Bobby died.
introduction to X-Men, but
Yeah,
They did
as
the
like a
same thing with
comic-
Ultimate. Go ahead, Brian.
As somebody who does not read comics, it's like you guys aren't doing a good job of selling me on any of this stuff. The last one was too much work. This one here, no.
Looks like anime.
When I did go back to him for a while, one of the best runs I ever read was when the X-Men fought the Avengers. That was a great series.
Avengers versus X-Men was a
Yeah,
good story.
that was great. The love story between what's her face and Scott, and then Yeah, it just got real crazy. The Phoenix power jumping from person to person. It got nuts, man. Like that Batman one that somebody sent me, where Batman literally broke down the entire Justice League to the cellular level and then remade them in his image. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I've heard of that one.
That was crazy, dude. Like I was like, who wrote this?
What storyline was it that Jean caught Cyclops cheating with Emma Frost in his mind?
I think that's Avengers vs. X-Men.
That was wait a minute.
What was
Wasn't that
that?
early 2000s Morrison? Because they
Yes.
were still in the black and yellow costumes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's early 2000s Grant Morrison X-Men run.
I was surprised she didn't shut his brain down.
Dude, the only reason she didn't reach in and click
He
the
has no
switch,
brain.
Hey,
But
leave Scott alone.
the only
He's the-
reason she didn't reach in and flip the switch inside Scott's brain is because Emma was in there, and Emma, say what you want about Emma Frost, but she's almost as powerful as Jean Grey.
And Scott has no brain to shut off, so it's,
And Scott has no brain to shut off, so
He's the best man. Anyway,
A
number
lot of
3 we
people
got.
like Cyclops. I'm not one of them. He's the
Yeah.
best X-Man. What did you just say?
I just said it. Oh,
No.
he said
What?
that.
Millennials don't like him because the cartoon show propped up Wolverine
Yep.
and made Cyclops seem like a dick.
I come from a background of actually reading the X-Men comics in the 80s and 90s, and Scott's always been a douchebag. So
One of my favorite
Not as bad as
titles
the
was X
cartoon.
Factor. I mean, I have the full X Factor run.
X Factor
from
was
100,
amazing.
and I loved that run, and I still always hated Scott.
Miss
Yeah.
Marvel, you ain't-
X-Pac
All right.
and X Factor. That was a bad tag team.
Yeah.
we got number
We got
3.
2 words for you.
All right, number 3, we got Miss Marvel, Mutant Menace. Number 1, the 1 in 100 shoe variant. And for you don't know what 1 in 100 means, that means they had to order 100 copies of the regular cover to get this cover.
I'm sorry, but that is such a retarded process.
Is that
Yeah,
her arm?
it
What is that?
is
Is she
a
like
little
stretching
ridiculous.
her arm? What is going on?
Yes, that's how long.
Yeah,
Okay, so
she
Miss
has-
Marvel's
has-
powers in the comics are different than in the MCU.
Yes.
Yes.
She's a metamorph in the comics, which means she can stretch her body, she can change her body, she does like big fist things and everything. She calls it embiggening.
Well, and now she's a mutant, so who knows what they're gonna
Yeah.
do?
So she's
Yeah.
Mrs. Fantastic is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
For all intents and purposes, yeah.
All right. All right. I don't know much about
Plastic Man started it all.
I got you, Plastic Man, Bruce. I got you, Plastic Man, swinging.
her. I had one of those when I was a kid. I had Stretch Armstrong. I did. Yeah, I had me a
Great.
Stretch Armstrong. You ever break one open? It's just a bunch of jelly. It's weird.
It's
let's
goo
let's
inside.
Through,
It's
let's get through
creepy.
this list.
It's creepy.
At number 2, we got Poison Ivy. Number 20, the Souza
Ooh, I
Micah.
love
Souza
that
Micah
cover.
One is
Women's History Month variant.
It's just so
Every one of
unfair.
hers is good.
It's so
Every one.
unfair. That's such an unfair character, man. Yeah, she is like a goddess in the DC universe. She's so gorgeous, and if you touch her, you'll fucking die. Like that is not cool, man.
That's not how that happens. You don't die if you touch
She
her.
doesn't have like poison skin.
No.
Depends on actually. It
George
depends on
Clooney.
what variant of her there is, because at one point she was green skinned and she did have poison touch.
Every single one of these Souza Micah Women's History Month variants DC has is on point. They're
That is
all
a gorgeous
fantastic.
cover, though. That is a gorgeous cover.
And
Souza
this
Micah.
this I would say is probably medium level for the Women's History
Yeah.
Month ones that she's putting out. That's how good they all are.
She
Mama-
is
Mama
an
Bear went there,
amazing
guys.
actress. Yes,
Mama
she
Bear
did.
went there. Mama Bear went there. She
Do not
did.
bounce happy fun ball. According to Batman, Plastic Man could kill us all.
Plastic
Money-
Man's immortal.
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man power.
Dude,
And the
dude,
number 1 cover of the week. Is it a DC? Is it a Marvel? Or is it independent? It's a DC book. Birds of Prey number 7, the 1 in 25 lyrics Lee variant.
Ooh.
Nothing says hot like Harley Quinn singing
Ooh.
with a
I,
disco ball. This is
I
With a
would-
disco
I
ball.
didn't want a Harley centric cover on this. That kind of lets me down.
really.
On a Birds of Prey book, I didn't want Harley centric because Harley has her own title. Give me some more Black Canary. Give me some Big Marta. I kind of want
fishnets on the cover. More
yeah,
fishnets.
yeah.
Are people not like? I guess not. I guess it'd be like getting bored with Batman or Superman. But I kind of thought Harley had made her run, and people were kind of like, okay, it's Harley everything. Every Halloween, everywhere you go, it's Harley Quinn.
Well,
Quinn.
Harley gets a lot of exposure with books, covers.
Her show's
had what?
funny. Her show's
She's got,
really
like,
funny.
a
on
lot of.
DC.
She's had like 4 or 5 series. People love Harley. Still.
Yeah, but the
It's
problem
covered
with
by.
Yeah.
problem with all of this Harley coverage, in my opinion, is it's going to end up going like Wolverine did at one point. Like
Overexposure.
it's
yeah.
gonna be too much.
And
No,
I love
I mean-
Wolverine. I love Wolverine.
but the thing is, like the Harley title is a god awful title. It's purely cover by. There's no the story. The book inside is not worth a shit. They're pure cover buys. You know, whereas
yeah.
with Wolverine, you had overexposure, but you had Wolverine stories. They might not have been that great here and there, but
That's funny.
Yeah.
Steve said that because I was just about to put in the
The
chat
Dazzler DC.
that Dazzler could beat up. Dazzler could beat up Harley. I was gonna put that in the
Yeah, of
chat.
course.
It's funny that he said that. Yeah. Roller skate all over her face.
Lols.
All
Hey, you
right,
guys
next.
are into comics though. Hold on, let me ask you a question. Go back
Go
to Poison Ivy real quick. Not because I want to look at her or oogle her, but I want to know covers like this.
Screenshot. Go ahead.
Covers like this. And it's
Yeah.
supposed to be what is it? Women's Month?
Yeah.
Women History Month.
Okay. Do comic book collectors and people get a lot of shit for these kinds of covers from like feminists
No,
and
because
stuff like
it's
that?
no, so
No, because
is Micah's female. The person who drew this is female.
I just wondered if like people because remember the whole wear her
no,
organ?
it's sex positive, empowering women. That's why.
Yeah, I just wondered. I don't want
That
I always
whole
wondered.
thing that whole thing shifted, Chris. Like
but yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying I could see a bunch of these crazy motherfuckers protesting like a comic book store
Nah.
because they don't like Harley wearing booty shorts or something. Like I could see that happening, bro. We're in that world. That's the world we live in. I know you guys don't want to admit
Well, I can see this being
no, it is the world we live in, Chris. I will agree with you there. But
but it'll be taken off of shelves for different reasons. Not from feminists.
yeah.
I mean, look at her though. I mean, I'm just saying. Poison Ivy.
Yes.
I
She looks
agree,
like a
but
racist.
again,
Copy.
She
but
looks
again-
like a racist. She looks like a racist to me. I'm just gonna say.
female artist.
What?
You don't think? Look at her, bro.
Mama Bear is an artist and she draws stuff. So check
Yeah.
out her YouTube page. Her art is amazing.
Truthfully, some of the people that draw some of the sexiest covers are female artists nowadays.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I used to have a big thing for that. You guys ever heard of Olivia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a real
have-
like her art. I used to
I have the
really love
Torchy.
her art.
I have still have some of the Torchy books. It's, kind of the homage to. Olivia.
I'll send you her Instagram later, Chris. You can check out
Yeah,
her
no,
art.
I love checking out other people's art. I do. I'm an artist, so you know I love checking.
You know,
out other people's art.
she does a lot. She takes a lot of superhero characters on her IG page and throws them in like fashion poses, and because at one point she wanted to be, in fashion and not comic artist.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens. Isn't it weird how life works?
It
I wanted
is.
to be. I got a degree in creative writing and communications. I became a tattoo artist. How the fuck does that happen?
All right, moving on to the next segment.
Life
Play
comes
at
with
your
some
own
curveballs.
risk. My producer of the show puts together a few video games that might be hard to find, might not have heard of them. So let's see what he put together this week. We got Elvinto for the Sega Genesis, released in '91. Mega Drive copy sold for
$380.
$380.
I hope that's a gun in that guy's
Wow.
hand with the trench coat.
You can't tell. So
No, that's his pickle. Anyway.
I remember I played this game. I remember playing this game. It was like I don't know if you guys remember the Fist of the North Star game they had for the Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I
Last
remember
battle.
Fist of the North
Last
Star.
battle. It was called Last Battle here. That was a great game.
Does anybody remember Battletoads? No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking.
If you motherfuckers Battletoads. Fuck you and your
Everybody-
Battletoads and your
everybody
Cyber
bring-
Frogs.
Everybody brings that shit up, man. Hey, I know. The cyber.
Look, Battletoads was not bad. Cyberfrog, on the other hand.
Let's not. We're keeping this a
let's-
wholesome show.
Let's not. You separate
Next
the art
up,
from the artist.
We got
I'm joking.
got-
God.
Masha, released for the Sega Genesis in 1990. But it sold for $395.
I love games like that. The overhead. What are those called? The overhead like shooters. Like,
You mean like
like
1942?
like 1942, 1945.
They call
Gradius-
shoot 'em ups.
Gradius. I love them, dude. I love
Gradius is good. I love
Yeah.
Gradius.
These were always like pizza parlor games for
Yep.
me. There'd be some shitty arcade game there like that.
Yep.
Next up, we got Papram Limited Edition, released in 2020 for the Sega Genesis. Sold for $722.
Wow.
This was a Kickstarter somebody did, got funded, and made their own game.
Okay, I was gonna say that got made in 2020. Why did it?
Yeah. That's
That's
crazy.
Kickstarter's an amazing place.
Yep.
Crowdfunding, I don't care what people say about it. You get burnt a handful of times in it. It's true, but some pretty cool shit comes out of
You
there.
know, it'll be nice
For
if
every
you
one
get,
time you get fucked, you 9 times out of 10 you get some good shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've had very few bad experiences on Kickstarter, and I fund a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah,
Years ago, they crowdfunded a board game called Kingdom Death Monster.
I do stuff like that. You know, if there's a certain Hasbro, like if they say, "Hey, we're gonna make the Millennium Falcon cockpit," I'll dump some money in there to try to get it. I dumped money into getting the Razor Crest made.
Yeah.
Remember,
I'll have
Dave?
to-
Remember, Dave, when they talked about they were going to cancel it, and I was freaking the
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
out.
I remember. I remember.
Because I had
Like
already
they did
put,
with
like,
the Rancor.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because I had already dumped like $800 into it. I was mad as shit, dude.
Oh
He
yeah,
was-
Boris the Bear. I got Boris the Bear books to cross.
He was aggro as hell about
Yeah,
that.
I was mad. They ended up putting it out, and I was happy.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Yeah. Well, does anybody know, was the Amico crowdfunded?
yeah,
No.
yeah, it was.
Well, to
It
a
was.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was-
okay.
if you ask a crowd of people for money to make something, that's crowdfunding. That's the way I look at it. You know, I never
Yeah.
understood the whole
Yeah.
parameters of that Amico thing. I know it's a touchy subject of people, so I just stay out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was saying earlier,
I
there
wasn't
was
around for that.
there was a board game. It was a miniatures board game called Kingdom Death Monster, and the miniatures were really detailed. The monster, because basically the game was you made a character, you played basically a prehistoric cave person that had to survive these horrors outside of your cave, and they got worse as further on the game went, and you had to kill these things to build your civilization, to advance your civilization, and I threw about, I want to say about $1,500 into that
Oh my
crowdfund
God.
on that
Whoa.
game.
No, you don't understand the addiction, Bruce. The way you guys are with
Wow.
comic books, we are with collectibles. And if they say, "Hey, we're gonna make this," and if you crowdfund it, you get first crack at it. The addiction comes out, dude. It's like crack.
Well,
I
after
think-
after the game came out, that board game, because of the miniatures and everything with it, that board game went for like $450 retail.
Wow.
And if you put in so much money, you got like the expansion packs, the extra miniatures that didn't come with the core game, stuff like that. And I put, like I said, $1,500 into it. It's a great game though, and the miniatures look amazing.
I think the only time I ever did a Kickstarter was the Guma book. The Guma.
I currently
Ma.
Guma.
I think I
Like
currently
Vermont.
have 7 or 8 Kickstarters that I've funded that will be fulfilled soon. I constantly have a lot because a lot of the artists will release their sketchbooks and stuff like that through Kickstarter.
You know
Yeah.
what's funny is when you can get. I've never been able to do it, but when you can get like a print, like a sketch.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, like
Oh,
when I got the
autograph.
art, when I got
Yeah,
when I
there
got
you
the
go.
art, when I got the Art Adams sketchbook, You know, I mean,
That to me is cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is so
Yeah.
cool.
you know, signed and everything else.
know
and,
what-
I mean, and I actually got like 5 print, 4 smaller ones as well.
You know what's
Everything.
funny, Bruce, is I've talked
Yeah.
to you. I've talked to you DMs on. I've
Yeah.
talked to you privately about this stuff. It's so funny that like I could talk about just like not even a year ago, I was dumping $800 into a Kickstarter for a fucking toy, and now I'm eating ramen.
It's crazy, man. Like
Yeah,
these
it
things
is.
happen.
It is crazy.
Of course, the Kingdom Death Monster crowdfund I did was like 2014, 2015, so it's been a decade ago.
Wow.
So
Well, y'all know though, my personal peeps like you, Bruce, if y'all know, I've been through the fucking ringer this last year. So
yeah,
finances are bad, man. Like it's been a rough one.
All right. Well, last game on is Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel, a 9.4 from Wata. Sold for
$2,000.
$2,000, released in 1994.
Wow.
Was that
Wow.
a Japanese made game?
It's Sunsoft.
You know that first there was a before all the Dragon Ball Z stuff hit really big, there was a Dragon Ball Z game. And it was an import from Japan.
Ultimate 22?
I it was like for regular PlayStation. That's how
Yeah,
old
Ultimate
it was.
22.
Yeah. And
Ultimate
my
22.
I,
so
I
my
had to
so
put
my-
the little spring to prop it open to get it to
Yeah.
play. Yes.
So my brother, he finds one at like a Hollywood video or something. It's like finding a unicorn in the
Yeah.
wild. Like he found his
Those are
unicorn.
rare.
He rented it and never brought it back.
Nice.
And now that
Uh.
thing goes for so much. I cannot believe how much those things are worth. That's crazy to me.
All right. Next up, we're going to take a look at some hard to find comic book covers that you might find in back bins at a con, or I like to think in your friend's long box and take it while he's not looking. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, because the one all the way to the right, I told you I'm into some weird shit. That's the kind of weird shit I'm into. That right there. I'll steal that out of somebody's box. For real.
Which one? Which one?
The one all the way to the right. That's,
Oh
that's,
yeah.
that's my kind of shit
Yeah,
right there.
it just
A
got
little
Campbell. Magic.
magic and
I
of
like.
course,
I have to admit, I like that middle Supergirl cover. I've always loved that middle
I
Supergirl
love
cover.
that.
Yeah, Turner's
that
great.
book is so expensive.
Is that Earth Angel? No. Which one is that? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Not to look it up later.
That's when they first find her. Well, when they reintroduced her after Crisis.
Oh, okay,
After-
okay, yeah.
After that fake Supergirl, whatever she was.
After Matrix.
Yes.
After Matrix.
First up, we got Batman issue 100, Natalie Saunders Virgin cover. Sold for about $75 in 2020 raw, and a 9.8
It's
sold for $74. It hasn't been sold since 2020
Yeah, it's not
without being
music
slapped. This is a beautiful cover. I love
It
this
is. I love the Joker in the background with the moon. That's dope as shit.
Mhm.
You know,
It's
maybe
weird
you
there's not
guys,
more of these.
maybe you guys know her. I do want to ask you guys a question because she's not doing the comic book stuff anymore. But she was my boss at one time when I was on her network. Used to edit for her. Have you guys ever heard? She goes by Danica XIX now, but she used to be Comic Book Girl 19.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
She used to be a model for book covers and stuff like this. I didn't know that sometimes comic book artists will get a model to come in and model, and then they'll
Oh, yeah.
draw it.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that. I thought it just came right out of their head. But yeah, Comic Book Girl Night. Now she's like a Dune chick. All she ever talked about is Dune and reading books. And
That's
Well,
Yeah.
there's
That's been for a couple of years now. Though.
There's a comic book artist known for using adult entertainers as
Uh-huh.
inspiration for his comics.
sex work is real work.
I never said it wasn't.
A hand job's a job, okay?
Artists,
Right.
artists forever have used models just for
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's not like it's that big of a deal. As
And
long
you got a
as
lot-
everything-
And honestly, without okay, take the sex act out of it, Bruce. You put enough makeup and the right outfit on any girl and paint her, you can turn anyone into a porn star.
Oh, jeez.
For real.
Kid's not wrong.
We put in makeup on Thay. He's gonna be a freaking porn star tomorrow.
Who? No, when I put no. Date is not a porn star. No. Thade did camera work for porn, but Thade is not porn star. Okay.
Yeah. What kind of porn? All right.
Well,
Well, listen, the closest thing I've ever done to porn is couldn't get it out without
Don't.
laughing.
Don't.
The closest thing I've ever done to porn star life is sending dick pics to my girl. That's about as close as I've ever come to porn.
I can't. Demonetized.
Show 'em.
Demonetized. I will say this:
Yes, it
if
does.
Dave became a porn star, his porn name would be Sal Sausage.
Sal Sausage.
You know what? Do you know what my there? You know, there's an actual formula for a porn star name.
Yeah,
It's
your
like-
street
it's-
and your
it's your
first
first.
middle
pet and your
name.
first
It's
street.
your middle name and your first. I would be Mike. Get this. This is a great porn star name. Are you ready? Michael Cherry, bro. Come on, man. Give it up. Give it up.
I
Michael
thought it was supposed
I
to be.
can't.
I thought it was supposed to be your first pet's name.
No, that's
His
a for a
street
drag.
name.
That's
And
a
first
no. That's for a drag
That's your
queen.
drag name.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a drag name.
No, it's the street name and your first dog. Your first pet's name.
That's drag queen. That's not a porn star.
drag queen.
So what's the porn
Yes,
star?
it is. Wait, then my name. Then I would be. Hold on. Then my drag queen name would be Michael Cherry. That still fits.
Yes.
Here's this thing with the Kyle thing. What the no? With the Kyle thing, no.
Oh
No,
my
just
God.
no.
My porn star name would be.
You never see him in the same place at the same time.
Oh God, no.
You know what? You know what? No. Just no.
But I will say this:
Just gonna keep the
artists
conspiracy going.
also they use their likeness in a lot of their characters, like Mr. Rob Liefeld.
Oh, yeah, every picture of Rob Liefeld is Rob Liefeld.
I've tried to do
Everything
self
it
portraits, guys. I've tried. And I use primarily ink, not just when I tattoo, but when I airbrush or when I use. My thing is like praying, felt, ballpoint, stuff like that. I do a lot of ink work, and I'm telling you, I've tried to do self portraits. It's impossible. I could draw you all day long, Bruce, but have me look in the mirror and try to draw myself. I can't fucking do it. I always end up looking like the Crow.
All right. Next
Uh,
up, we got X-Men issue 23, the 1 in 50 JTC Venom variant from 2015. Sold for 250 raw in 2024, which was last week, a week and a half ago. 9.8 hasn't sold since 2022, and raw prices are approaching that high of 9.8 from 2022.
That's a fascinating cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a
gonna
ghost.
say it's dark. I like the lightning, but I never did like the whole we're gonna put symbiote on every Marvel character and make
I
it.
hate
I never liked that. I always
hate
liked
Venom.
the
You
Venomized
get a
shit.
symbiote. You get a symbiote.
Yeah, I
Everybody
hate-
gets a symbiote.
I hate symbiotes.
No.
I
The coolest symbiote I ever saw, the two coolest symbiotes on Marvel characters I ever saw, though, was Rocket Raccoon and Groot.
Oh God.
My favorite will always just be Black Suit Spider-Man. That's it. That's like the best.
that's
that's
all
the
I-
best.
all I
That's
need.
my favorite.
maybe I was okay with Carnage, but beyond that, I'm like, it's just too much. Too
Well,
much.
when they gave Black Widow a freaking symbiote, I was done. I was like, no, done.
I was done long.
I mean, I look at that, and you know what I see? I don't see Venom. I see Mylena from Mortal Kombat. That's who I see.
Yeah.
I see Baraka.
Yeah,
I do like Laroka.
Baraka's
But
good
don't
call.
get me wrong, it's a beautiful cover. It really is. I'm not really into the whole symbiote Venom thing, you know?
You're right, Mama. Those name formulas is just to get you real information.
She probably is right. She probably
Although I will say this is a John Tyler Christopher cover that is not a negative space and not an action figure variant. So
Yeah.
that's something.
All right, next up, we got Spider-Man issue number 1, the 1 in 20. Cho.
Mike, Cho, not
This
Frank,
year
not
sold
Frank.
for $119 raw, and
Why did
9.8 sold for $380 back in 2023, and recently a 9.6 sold for $63.
Okay, why? Okay, I understand it lost me, but why was it considered so rare at the time? Because that's a pretty basic cover.
What, this one?
Yeah, is it because of the cover, and it's just rare, or is it because of the artwork itself?
It's the artwork and the ratio. It's a ratio. So they have
It's a ratio.
Stores
I
had to
forget
buy
which
20 copies of the regular cover A to get 20 to get this book.
And
I think there's
forget which
what-
reboot of this was. There's so many volumes of Spidey. I mean, between Amazing,
Although I won't lie, man.
Spine Tingling, regular Spider-Man, Sensational. There's so many damn Spider-Man titles that all blend together, and they constantly reboot everything now. So it's like, hey, here's 20 issues, and hey, we're starting back at #1 again.
hmm
So is that
it
like a
becomes-
racket? Is that like a comic book racket? Is it?
Yeah,
it's
Marvel
huge.
does. Marvel does it all the time.
That
Every-
doesn't
Marvel-
show
every-
up?
everybody does it.
Marvel does it on the
Not DC.
short run. Marvel does it on the short run. DC does it after every crisis, which
Okay.
it's just as much
Probably
a racket.
No,
It's-
every
it's
6
just as
years,
much-
7 years.
6 years, 7 years. My ass, dude. We had 2 crises in 4 years.
Listen,
No.
guys. I started in. This is a serious question. I started in because you guys know way more about this than me. But I started around 85, 86, and I would go every month, and I would spend what money I had on certain issues, and it was all because I saw Wolverine on the cover of something. Okay, but that somehow led me into Punisher. The battle he had with Punisher. Punisher became my favorite of all time ever. But there was a time when from that till about 92, 93, they were like doing all this cross promotion, putting out cover after cover, different variants, and it almost killed the comic book industry.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Are you
Foil
not
covers.
afraid? Are you not afraid of that happening again now with all this shit that's going on? You guys are talking
No.
about.
I mean, the problem is that conversation has been going on now for 15 plus years about variants and ratios and stuff like that. Yet they still keep doing more.
Yeah, and I'm not
I
gonna
think
lie.
that-
I'm a sucker for that. Dave, we are.
Yeah.
We will buy the C3PO, the regular C3PO, and then Force Awakens drops, and we gotta buy
Yeah.
the C3PO with the red arm.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I
the
mean?
the thing about this, the cover stuff is like, what doesn't? Because remember, guys, I am just now getting back into comics. I was out for like 15 years. I've been out since the early 2000s. But like this 1 in 100, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, the ratio cover thing. Some of it, Bruce, we've even talked about this on your show. Like some of this, people just, you have to buy 20 copies of this book.
You
To
don't.
get
The
the-
store does.
The store
The
does
store
to get the
does.
rate, to get what 1 copy of the ratio. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: it's good business. It's not good for the consumer, but it's definitely good for the store owner because if you can put a price on, I think it's cool. I do. I think it's cool if they don't overdo it. Okay, don't give me the same book with 8 different versions of Spider-Man on the cover because my OCDS is going to want them all.
Exactly. And
No,
that's
and
what people
I
do.
get it. That's what gets people.
That's what
and that's
people-
why people
They do.
chase really expensive. I mean, because you might have an issue, especially this, which is why they love rebooting to #1s, because #1s always sell more than
Mhm.
any other number. You reboot back to a #1, they do a ton of covers, a ton of ratios. Stores buy up on them because they know they'll sell a bunch of A and B covers, but also a ton of different ratios and stuff like that. They do it constantly now. I mean, it's rare now for books to go more than like 20, 25 issues half the time before they end up rebooting something. And it's annoying. It's annoying to keep track of your comics when everything's constantly rebooting to one. I mean, I don't know how many volumes of Silk I have. And does that book ever
X-Men?
get over? Does Silk ever get over like 10 issues
No.
before they reboot it back to one? And I have this section
Black
in my shirt
Widow.
box. I have a section in my shirt box, and I don't know what the fuck goes where because I have 7 #1s. I don't know which volumes these are from.
See, you know what? You know him just saying that. Like I'm the type of person that just hearing him say that gives me anxiety. Like that would drive me. That would drive me.
there's a
crazy.
lot of okay. So a lot of the time these days they sell comic books on FOMO. Okay. And you just have to focus yourself on what's important to you and what's not.
Yep.
If you're collecting for covers, then the story's not going to be important to you. But if you're reading, then that's where you get a problem. Okay, so I read everything digitally. So the only reason I collect comic books is if I want the covers. So I'm a collector when it comes to the floppies. But to read them, I just go digitally. I don't care.
I don't know. They got me when I was like around the early 90s when they started doing all that crossover stuff. When they had like the 4 different covers of Batman fighting Predator. I had to
Oh,
have
yeah.
all 4 of them. Same
Well,
story. But I wanted all 4 covers. When Terminator went in Robocop, yeah, I was there, dude. I had to
They
have
have
it.
audiobooks.
Stuff.
But the difference
Oh,
in
yeah.
me, the difference
Yes.
in me in the 90s when I collected versus the me now, there's a whole lot of difference. Like Chris, I was like you in the 90s. I had to have every cover. I had to have all the variants. I had to have like the chrome covers and the covers with the card on it and the hologram
The
covers and all that
hologram
shit.
covers, yeah.
Yeah,
I
man,
had to
foils.
I fell
that
for
was
shit. They got
that was me. That was me in my teens and 20s. Now it's like, okay, I'm doing it by the artist now. I look towards certain artists when it comes to these books.
Well, is
when
it
I
true?
collect them.
Is it true that a comic book fan will always what got them into comics? That will always be their favorite era of comics. Is that true?
No, no.
No.
What's
It-
the best era of comics?
Well,
It's
that
different for
depends. That
everybody.
depends on who you're talking to.
I don't know,
love Golden
man.
Age. I'm a big Golden Age fan, and that's not what got me into comics.
Now, Golden Age was like what, mid '80s?
No, Golden Age was from the late 30s up
Oh,
until
that's right, okay.
55.
To answer Ed LeBeau's question there, how did I afford all of my comics back in the 90s? My parents were rich,
And they weren't expensive as like they are now.
and they
were
weren't as expensive as they are now.
well-
You were looking at $1.50 a cover.
$1.50, yeah.
And I didn't give a shit. I was
$1.75.
reading too. I wasn't collect like in the 90s. I wasn't buying stuff to to collect. I would bag and board stuff and stuff like that. But I also didn't care. I would also read, and I would also go to because we had newsstands back then, and a lot of newsstands would have like 10% discount, and for a Marvel title, it'd be like 90 cents.
But
If
Ed,
you get
also,
$5 on you can get 5 comic books. That you can't do that anymore.
but Ed, also to answer your question, my dad was also a collector, especially of comics and such. So my dad and I would be into a book, and he would buy like we had 40 copies of Superman number 75 polybagged.
Oh God, no.
Because the morning those came out, my dad went to every convenience store in the area and every comic book store he could get to, and bought every copy they had.
Is that the one when he came back or the one when he died?
That's where he died.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
I still have 15
Adventures-
polybag copies of X-Force 1.
Of Adventures of Superman 500 is when he returned, I believe.
All right, let's get back on the rails. We got to finish this show tonight.
Actually,
Wonder-
Bruce,
Wonder
I'm gonna have
Woman-
to. I'm gonna
I
have to
know.
hop out, brother. I'll
Thank
talk to you later.
for hanging out. See
Oh
you.
yeah, of course.
Get the fuck out of here, you greasy wop.
Hey, big brother, don't treat me like that. We'll talk later.
It doesn't matter what you think.
And that's one to grow on.
Now you're gonna owe the Rock money.
Betty.
All right, night, guys.
I'll message you in a little bit, bro. I'll message you in a little bit.
All right, bro.
For showing up. We
Of
got
course.
Wonder Woman issue 613 and 1 in 10 Garner from 2011. Hasn't sold since last year in May for $63. I didn't see any greatest sales for this at all.
Okay, I'm interested in
Yeah.
because of the cover. I'm interested. What is the story behind this? Not the cover, the actual story. Is it a Wonder Woman fighting a bad Wonder Woman, or is she like going through like a bipolar issue? What is this?
I wasn't reading Wonder Woman at this time.
Yeah, I have no
Hey.
clue. I'm still
Brian.
trying to, I'm still piecing together my Brian Boland run of
Wonder
Wonder Woman
Woman.
covers.
Well, I just noticed the font. There's different kinds of font for Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
and that's the font from one of her movies I saw where it was brutal. They were like decapitating motherfuckers and shit. It was a good movie. I can't wonder.
was
I
a
think
good movie.
yeah, no, it was great. It was brutal, man. Because somebody
So
came in
the-
and like was
yeah.
slaughtering Amazonians, and Wonder Woman she snapped out. They were like decapitating people. And by the way, if we're gonna do some shipping, I want Zod. No, not Zod. Superman. I think Superman's perfect mate would be Big Berta. That's just me though.
That'd be great. I could live with that.
The last book on the Superman issue 712, 1 in 10 art germ variant from 2011.
Crypto
Not
looks,
expensive, but it doesn't come up for sale that often.
Crypto
Crypto
looks
looks,
special.
Crypto looks cute. I like that
He,
one.
he looks a little special. He looks a
Yeah,
little touched.
Looks a little. He does look a little touched in the head. He does.
Leave alone. Those are the cutest dogs ever.
See, he was deprived of he was deprived of oxygen before he came out.
You guys are
That-
horrible.
That's not a to me. Also, that's just like that. I don't know. Is this guy famous? I'm gonna say some shit and sound like making myself look like an
It's
ass.
an early art.
This is not good art to me. This is lazy. Look at that face. He looks a little touched too.
This
Superman,
is-
Superman looks
pretty
like he's
early
on.
Archer.
Yeah, he looks like he's on the spectrum. Look at that.
He does look a little.
He might have a few extra chromosomes. Is all I'm saying.
Stop.
And that's.
Jeez.
I just don't like lazy art, Bruce. I don't like lazy art. That's a cover. That's a cover. Someone gave this guy a cover. I hope his
And-
other artwork isn't as lazy as this because that's
and-
fucking lazy.
And this is, you know, this is early in his career.
Okay.
So
And work early
yes,
on,
he has-
and people
he has
look
improved.
for these early works of artists.
Well, who was the Saturday morning whatever artist guy? Not Jackson Pollock. He was the cum splatter guy. But I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it that
He
way.
was-
But you know what I mean.
he was the CIA plant.
Who was the Saturday Evening Post? Blah blah blah. That artist.
Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell. This looks like a Norman Rockwell to me. It does. If Norman Rockwell did a Superman cover, this would be it. Look at that shading. Look at
Norman
look at the
Rockwell
shadows.
paintings are way better, dude. I mean, you
Exactly.
can't not go to a hometown buffet and see them. Okay.
There you go. It's
Someone
much
needs a
better.
timeout.
I might, Terry. I'm sorry. I'm not comic book guy. I'm trying to learn, man. I'm thinking about getting back into it though, man.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk about some books we read this week. Who reads comics?
Does Stalin count? I read a book about Joseph Stalin. Comic books.
Yeah. Was it a funny book?
My
We got
bad.
Avengers Twilight 3. This is set in the future where shit is freaking messed up.
Yo,
Cap
why
is
does
like
Iron Man?
80.
Why does Iron Man have a utility belt? The fuck is going on?
That's not Iron
Don't
Man.
get me
Well,
wrong.
Not Iron Man.
That's not Iron Man. That's Iron
Oh,
Man's
okay.
son.
Okay, that's a dope looking Iron
That's
Man.
well, it's Tony Stark's son.
But he's got
Yes.
like a utility belt.
Yeah.
I'll come down, Kings. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Jackson Pollock.
So I thought it was I didn't think that Cap was going to go rescue Tony Stark. Tony's son has been keeping his father's head in a jar, pretty much in a jar, and using him for his
Futurama style.
I'm sorry. So in the future, Tony Stark's son is a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Straight Green Goblin, but in an Iron Man suit. Remember the scene where
Well, he
Willem
didn't have
Dafoe's
he didn't
talking
have
in
a
the mirror and freaking out? He didn't have a head.
well, he
though.
didn't have a suit. He has his own personal kill squad.
That's
You know,
crazy.
it's America. You disappear if you speak out, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, see,
I do like that artwork though. I can't lie.
Superheroes
the
are
artwork
dead.
is fantastic.
Yeah, I
You're-
like that artwork. That
Yeah,
panel right there with Cap with the shield. Oh, it's so good with the
and
red.
I mean,
That's
you
so good.
basically had Cap starting off old, and you had
Yep.
an old Luke Cage, you had old briefly Matt Murdock.
He gave
Which
up
he-
the super soldier serum to retire.
You know what I
Yeah.
find, Brucey? The older I get, the more I like the older characters. I can relate to them.
Oh,
Like if
bastard.
Captain America jumps up and grabs his back and goes, "Ooh," I like that.
and that's the way he was in the beginning of this. I mean,
Yeah.
he got his ass handed to him a bit, and he
That is the widow's belt.
and he took the super
Killed her.
serum back.
Oh my God, that's a spoiler, but why? Because he's a lunatic, obviously. Is this a bad Iron Man? Is he like a bad guy?
He's nuts. That kid.
Oh wow.
So that kind of makes me
he's-
want to. That makes me kind of
he's an entitled, rich piece of shit. He's
Out of
Tony Stark.
everything that
If
you
Tony
guys-
Stark to have a conscience.
And out of everything you guys have shown me tonight, like everything, the most interesting thing that makes me really want to go out and pick these up is a fucking evil Iron Man son. Like that is interesting to me.
This
bro.
is a really good good series. You're only on the 3rd
Mhm.
issue.
Yeah.
So
pick it up.
and you got
it's-
Cap fighting him, so
yeah.
it's like Civil War 2.0.
yeah, it's good, and I like Cap. I like Cap centric stories.
Yeah, no, I'm Joe. I'm with you. I'm one of those guys, and guys like us, there are some Captain America fans out there, but
Yeah.
a lot of people we get shit for liking Cap. We get
I
shit
like-
for it.
I like his he's always kind of pulled into the side of what's right. It's not necessarily, for the flag and the country. It's always kind of this is the right shit to do, so I'm going to do it. And I always kind of like that about Cap because he didn't really give a shit about the
I took his
consequences.
side. I know it's live action, but I took his side in the Sokovia Accords. I took Cap's side.
Oh yeah.
Cal said, "How does Kamala tie in?" Well, there aren't that many heroes that are willing to stand up to the government. They just want to live their lives, and he goes to her and tries to persuade her to join his cause.
Wait, so
And she's older, and she has
Yeah.
a family.
He has a family.
She comes in at the end of issue 2, so this is, I guess, really the first
wait,
issue.
so in this run, this future son, Tony Stark, what's his name? Let me guess. Brandon Stark, Tige, Tanner. It's definitely a white boy name, but like what? Like what's his name?
Connors.
It's James.
What was
I
it,
believe.
Joe's?
Oh,
James.
James. Okay, James. Anyway,
He is
future-
the son of Tony and the Wasp.
The
Okay.
Wasp.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. But
Yeah.
okay, he still he works for the government. The government still controls certain
He-
Avengers.
They basically there's a scene early on in, it might be issue 2, where they go in to talk to the president and basically make it pretty clear that the president holds no power, that
He-
they really hold the power.
Yep.
So it's more
So
of
reverse
kleptocracy,
Yeah,
kind of,
it's
It's
reverse
crazy.
Batman Returns when Reagan told Superman, "We need you to take him out." Okay, sir. I would have loved Superman to go, "Fuck you, that's my friend." I would have loved that version of Superman, but yo, I'm gonna find how I can digitally. No, you can digitally read comics now. I forgot about that. I'm
Yep.
in. I'm
Yes.
in, man.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
read I will read the fuck out of this shit.
they're good. The first 3 issues are, I haven't made it all the way through the third one yet because I was a little late today, but I really enjoyed the first
Oops.
2 a lot. And it is good.
Oops, I shouldn't
He's like,
show
you
that.
dropping spoilers, you fucker.
Yeah,
Yo, and
But
the
it's
Kamala Khan
a
cover.
really
The
it's
cover
a
with
really-
her and Cap. Oh, it's really good art too, man. Whose hand
I
is
love
that?
that
Is
cover.
that James Stark's hand? He's getting ready to hit him with the flight simulator
Yes.
thing, the flight stabilizer.
the pulsar
Repulsor
ray
rays.
or what repulsor ray or whatever he calls it.
Yo, that's a good cover. So she grew up.
So it's a great it's so far it's a great story. Art has been amazing. So if you
I like
pick this up-
older characters. I like when a character is aged up and you kind of see where they would be, through the ravages of life without. I mean, granted, yes, it's a bit of a dystopian future in this, but it's not like a Old Man Logan where it's like totally post-apocalyptic and stuff like that.
Right,
So
right.
it's dystopian, but it's still grounded enough that it's interesting. You can
So let me
think
get
that,
this
okay,
straight
it's-
though. Kamala Khan has grown up. Okay.
Yes.
And she is now one of the few superheroes that is willing to go against
She didn't want to.
a tyrannous
didn't want to.
government. She'll
And she
go
didn't, and
against
she
it.
didn't want to. She's reluctant. She's reluctantly pulled back in.
And people
Mhm.
don't love this character. They don't like this girl. Really.
And they killed Matt Murdock. What didn't they kill Matt Murdock? the
Oh, they
first
killed
issue?
Matt Murdock off right away. Like he like
First
appears in
issue
a
he was
frame,
dead.
and they're like, "Oh, then he's dead,"
He's dead.
which was
Nobody
kind of
needs-
funny. I thought. But
Nobody needs Daredevil in the future.
That's not true. He's the Batman of Marvel. Sorry.
Stop.
Honey,
Next
it's
up,
midnight. He doesn't have the
we
money.
read Duke number 3, the relaunch of the G.I. Joe franchise.
I
Image.
love the Baroness. You have no clue. I dated a girl, like no joke. You guys
Just
remember
'cause she looked
Nicole?
like the Baroness?
No, she still looks exactly like the Baroness. And okay, I'm not going to get too far into it, but I've seen
Yeah.
a live action Baroness before, is all I'm going to say. And I love the Baroness. The Baroness is dope as shit.
The Baroness
I'm
is just a librarian with a bodysuit on.
That is not true. She's also an
Good enough.
assassin. She is
Yeah,
a
good enough for
fucking.
me.
She is
I
an
knew you were gonna say
assassin.
that.
I don't care. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Oh, how are you gonna? GI Joe's great too. I love GI Joe. I used to like the really obscure characters nobody likes. I was really big into Zartan, Baroness, Major Blood, Dr. Mindbender. Those are the ones I
Major
went
Blood.
into.
Oh,
Major Blood
Major
was the
Blood.
shit.
Poor
I'm
Major Blood.
I'm a big Tomax and Zaymont fan.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
I love it. When I was a kid and saw that their names were spelled just backwards, I was like, I'm in, bro. I bet.
I didn't
Five-
spoil this, but this book
Is that Starscream?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, I gotta.
They're
get
they're in the same
comics.
universe.
I've got to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I always knew they were. I always knew they were.
So far in
Uh,
the story, Duke has been hunted, almost killed, shot, stabbed, because he will not stay quiet about Transformers. They won't believe him. They don't think it's. They think he lost his mind, and he can't get over seeing Starscream go take a human and go squishy, squishy, squishy
Yeah, yeah.
with his
no.
hand.
Yeah, Starscream's the goat. No shit. He's my favorite Transformer.
But
After
my
Optimus, of course.
What Baroness does at the end of this book, holy cow! I was like, what?
You have no idea what you just got yourself into, bro. I'm gonna be
Well-
hitting you up for like, hey, yo, where do I get a link? What do I
You
read?
have-
next?
I already
you have
blocked
a-
you.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
in
you
so much
have a
trouble.
full universe. You
Yeah,
have.
like, dude,
I
because
understand
the,
you.
the
You have a
James
whole
Stark
universe.
thing
though.
and this right here, man, I'm in.
The
I
have-
Transformers is woof.
Yeah, I mean, you got Void Rivals. You got, and it's all tied basically together loosely and tightly in some cases. So you got Void Rivals, you got Transformers, you have Duke, you have Cobra Commander, and then you'll have what, the Energon.
Yeah, right now,
Wait, there's a whole Cobra Commander run just of Cobra
yeah,
Commander.
they got Duke,
Yes.
Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander right now is in Cobra La with what was his name? Globulus?
Globulus.
Globulus. Yeah, Globulus.
And
Voiced by Mickey, by the way.
they
But-
have found Megatron's body and they're rebuilding him.
Dude, that sounds so sick. Like that's
It is sick, dude.
that sounds so sick to me, man. I am in. I'm so in.
Did you finish reading the show?
No.
Okay.
I
It's-
did. Duke is the one thing I'm way behind on.
I will say this. The
They're very
ending
good at
of this
teasing.
book, it's crazy with what the Baroness does. I was just
I will.
like, wait,
I will say
what?
that this book is the best at giving clear teases and then giveaways at the very end
Mhm.
of like the next to last panel. So you go, oh, okay, I know what I'm going to be getting next week.
Yeah, because at some point they're all gonna Transformers, Duke, and Cobra Commander. They all have to tie in.
No, yeah,
converge into one story.
that's like their end game. That's their Avengers. Do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. That I like that idea, and I love that they
Alright.
put them in the same. That's so cool. Well, hey, serious question though.
Yep.
Hooded Cobra Commander or steel face Cobra Commander?
He still has his face, doesn't he?
No, what do you
It's
prefer? What do you guys?
I like Steelface.
Still face.
Really, I always love the hood.
Plus,
The-
it makes for better
yeah.
covers.
Hmm.
The silver on covers and shining through water and reflection. It makes for better covers.
I like not seeing the eyes as well. It was
Yeah.
always more mysterious. The hood always just felt a little weird. It's kind of it felt like I was watching Fat Albert.
I loved it. And it's crazy too because there was one episode, a cartoon where they merged them, where Cobra Commander was manipulating Starscream, and it's the voice actor for both. It's the same voice actor for both shows. You know what I mean? That's crazy. So he was doing Starscream's part and Cobra. You guys never saw that? They merged them in one episode. The Cobra organization had fallen. Cobra Commander was literally like a homeless bum, and he was manipulating Starscream. He was manipulating Star. He had like cancer or some shit. He was dying, and he manipulated Starscream.
Wait, what was
into-
this? A comic?
This is a cartoon. This is
Oh,
an actual
cartoon.
cartoon where they merged them. They brought GI Joe and Transformers together for one episode.
I've never seen it.
This is my least favorite Cobra Commander.
Yeah, the new one that was that was the third gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like third gen either, man. First gen and second gen were always my favorite.
I don't know why my camera will never tighten up there. There we go.
There you go.
I've got a
Yeah,
lot of.
that
those
was the
guys
shittiest
floating
one.
All right, next up, the last book, Zorro, Man of the Dead, #2. Joe read this.
Why is he
didn't get a
called Man of
chance
the
to read
Dead?
this.
Why is he called Man of the Dead?
Because it's more about. It takes place modern day. It's more.
So it's not like a zombie thing or something.
No, it's not
Okay.
as it's not a zombie thing. It's done by Sean Gordon Murphy, who does the whole Murphyverse for Batman. Some of the best Batman stories are the Murphyverse stories for Batman. But I would suggest picking this up. The art is fantastic, which he does in there, and he also does the story. But I mean, you're really following more of somebody whose father kind of played Zorro in a way. The villages down in this part of the world really kind of have a reverence for the original Zorro. And this guy's father was kind of slain, and he kind of takes up the mantle of Zorro. It's a good family story
Really?
with him and
Is
his sister.
Is there any
Okay.
revenge in it?
What? I love
It's
it.
getting there. It's only 2 issues in.
Okay, I'm just gonna say because his father was slain, he picks the mantle. There's got to be a good.
You need to
revenge
start.
story.
You need to start writing stuff down, Chris, so you could. I'll tell you how
I'm,
to read them.
I'm telling you, man, because I'm telling. No.
Yeah,
there's
and
two-
then it's supposed to look like Danny Trejo. Yes,
there
yes.
there are 2 things in Hollywood that will always work. Okay, rom-coms and a good revenge story, always.
And I think you're going to get to. But he's really kind of taking up that mantle, and his sister thinks he's insane a bit as well doing this. It's a fun story. I don't want to give a lot away because it's only 2 issues in,
There we go.
but
Oh, I
it
forgot I
is
could do that.
it is really good. I like I said, if you're a fan of any of the
I loved him
any
when
of
I was a
John
kid.
Gordon Murphy's
I love
Batman
Zorro.
stuff and his Elseworlds, White Knight stuff, I would highly suggest picking this up. The guy can write a great story.
Mhm.
The fact that he's does the art as well. I like when somebody's decent at art who's also a really good writer. I think they can bring their vision to life really nicely. But it's a good, fun read so far. Again, only 2 issues in, but the art is fantastic. The story's fun. It's a fun read.
I do
it's
like
not-
the art. It's got that old
Yeah.
school 70s vibe to it.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like that, man.
and it's not a tedious read. Like a lot of books are tedious. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get into this, and some books there's a lot of words in it, and that's okay, and it fits the story well. And others, it can be more sparse. And this
I like
is just about
dialogue.
right.
I don't mind dialogue heavy stuff, Joe. I really don't, but I do prefer it more if the panel tells the story. That's just me.
This what I like is this breaks it up enough. There's enough panels where there's dialogue, and then enough breaks of panels where there's action with little dialogue.
Yeah,
That's
good
moving
shit.
the story forward, which is nice. As long as that gets punctuated through a bit, I always kind of enjoy it because I feel like I'm moving along with the story well.
See, if I get back into this comic stuff, then I gotta give something up, and I don't know what it's gonna be because Star Wars will never be given up.
Well, the good
Transformers
thing
will
is
never.
you could read a lot of it online.
YouTube. No.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I only collect 4 major things: Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and Hot Wheels, and I don't know which one I would give up. It would be so hard. And comics cost money. I see the prices you were just laying out. I see some of those. covers you got.
We'll talk after the stream.
It's gonna be
alright?
great when I win that Wonder Woman cover this week. That's
Oh,
gonna
dude,
be
we just-
awesome.
Oh,
Speaking of Hot Wheels, dude, we just got some sweet ass 70s Z28.
I know where you
the
work,
gold.
Brian. You guys get all the really cool, like
We get all the special edition ones.
Yeah, man, I love that shit, bro.
I think I have
there's
a
a-
30
There's an
gallon
O'Reilly
tub.
pickup. Holy shit, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think I have a 30-gallon tub of Hot Wheels.
Yeah, no, I bet I have 10,000. I have
Oh.
totes and totes and totes full of them.
When I started at my new job, or not my new job, but when I started working at O'Reilly, I showed Chris a picture of the Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
Dude,
and I used to guys. I used to put in the legwork. I would go to every Walmart, every Target, every Kmart, every
Really?
O'Reilly's. Yeah, at the end of the week, and I would look for treasure hunts or real
Those
riders.
treasure hunts are fun to
Yeah.
search for.
Yeah,
That's, I used to do that too.
And the hunt used to be the fun of it. Now you can get it online if you want to, but the legwork is what really counts. I've got Hot
Yeah.
Wheels on my shelf over there that are 40 years old. But when you see the exclusive ones like at O'Reilly's or AutoZone or Napa, you want them because that's the only place you can fucking get them.
very true.
Hey, what's up, Dave's collection? Just a reminder, this will be one of the books you could possibly win tomorrow night
I'm so gonna win that book.
Raza.
on the 1K giveaway show. Make sure you have the reminders on my channel because it will be randomly picked. They will be in envelopes, and you have to pick a number from 1 through 4 to get.
That's so unfair. You should just be allowed to pick the one you want, man. Look, listen. I love you, Bruce, but don't you dare invite me on the panel tomorrow because I want a chance to win that fucking book.
It will be subscriber only tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. We're gonna have some fun, some games. We're gonna talk about movies. We're gonna have a guest appearance by Pete from Renovision. He will be running a segment on my show tomorrow night.
Now, is Renovation the Star
it-
Wars guys?
No, not the Star Wars. He's the
That's the channel.
he's the channel owner. He's like a wizard with like presentations and editing and everything. He's just like
That's cool.
amazing.
That's cool. Well, because Dave keeps telling me about that Star Wars channel. I know you've brought it up too. That he's a part of. They're friends of yours, and I'm going to check
And
them out.
we might get Blue Jay on with his movie game, his box office game.
Yeah, I like Blue Jay a lot. I like.
No,
his-
Max will be here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in increments because the panel's not going to be big enough. So Peter probably hop on about 10, then Blue Jay hops on about 11. We're
No, you hit
going
1K, that's
balls to the
great.
wall tomorrow night, huh?
Yeah, you hit 1K. That's great, man. And I tell you nothing, it was great. Max reaching out to me being on the panel last night, that was great. That felt really good, man.
It feels good, man. Glad to see it, man.
I like where we're going now. We're gonna get rings that say ELE on them. We're all getting.
I love it.
That's right. I got a ring too. It says love.
I got a ring. It says everybody love everybody.
All right. We're going to get into Joe's favorite part of the show. We're going to take a look at some Golden Age comic books that sold in the last week or two. First up, we have Big Book Romances #1 from Fawcett Comics from 1950, a CGC 7.0, off-white to white pages, sold for $240. Not bad for a 7.0 from Golden Age.
Pricey book, 25 cents.
Yeah, that's
I know that was a
crazy.
lot back then.
Yeah, I got
1950.
some comic books on my shelf over there that say 50 cents, 75 cents. They're just not in good shape. Someone gave me like an entire tote filled with comics. I got a Bernie Sanders comic. What the hell?
I have a Pope. I
I've
have
seen
the
that. I've
Pope
seen
John
that.
Paul. I have the Pope John Paul comic from Marvel.
That's just crazy to me. But some of them are pretty cool. Some of that old Batman stuff. Yeah. Like that.
I
Looks
like
the
what
animated
it's
one.
I like what it says on the cover. Intimate secrets told in captivating picture stories.
That's
Yeah.
why it was so expensive at 20.
Is it softcore porn? Yeah.
It's
Before was
148
born.
pages. That's a thick. That's magazine size
Yeah.
and thick.
Next up,
Which is what he's telling her.
we got Adventure Comics 129 from 1948, and CGC 9.2, cream to off-white pages, sold for $1,020. This was part of a pedigree collection. Davis Crippen.
Oh, the Crippen D.
Who
Yep.
just had that floating around? They kept it in such good. It's a 9.2. Like,
Well, the Crippen. This is a pedigree. So what pedigrees normally are collectors that had very large, well-kept collections that either when they passed or at some point they submitted them all for grading. So,
so it's
when
like
you have a big
Taylor.
when you have a collection that's that
Yeah.
big, you kind of you get your own pedigree. These Crippen D ones, this is a very interesting pedigree because this guy had an amazing collection, and he would normally put somewhere on the cover, it's in there, he would put a little D in there, and inside on like the first page, he would put a serial number in. So all of his books have that on it. At one point, a handful before he got the pedigree, a handful of his books were stolen.
Damn.
And made it into the wild. So every now and then, some of those stolen books get, somebody puts it in for grading and stuff like that, and it pops up as one of these pedigrees.
Oh, wow.
in his
Oh,
collection.
the handwritten serial number. I like that.
Yeah. He had a
Art-
whole. It's,
Archive your shit, fellas. Archive it.
Next up, we got Romantic Hearts #9 from 1954. CGC 6.5, sold for $16.80. Can love surmount all barriers?
Chick
Read
fight.
River Girl.
Chick fight.
The one thing that bothers me about a lot of the graded Golden Age stuff is the lack of remarks on the slabs.
Yeah. There's
Because
nothing notated.
some of the stuff isn't easy to find sometimes. I mean, a lot of these books, yeah, you can kind of find who did the cover, but a lot of the artists did not sign the covers. A
Mhm.
lot of times you had 5 or 6 really amazing artists working on a lot of these books. Yeah, you might have Matt Baker interiors and, Jack Heyman cover. But a lot of times they just don't say, or nobody seems to know exactly who did it. So
I feel you, Terry, but I'm a brunette guy. You got your people that loved Marilyn Monroe, and then you got your people that loved Betty Page. I was a Betty Page guy.
yeah,
Chris, there's a section of collectors that they will collect comic covers with blonde haired women in red dresses.
red dress.
That's like a
distress.
thing.
Don't even have to be blonde. Just the
Oh, it
red
doesn't
dress.
have to be blonde. Red dress.
Just the red dress distress is good enough.
Why? It's just like a meta
It's
thing.
it's a trope. There's a lot of tropes with Golden Age. You have, Golden Age has a lot of weird tropes. There's a lot of bondage tropes.
Yeah.
There's the red dress distress. There's good girl art. There's bad girl art. Hypodermics are
Yep.
always Hitler.
Wow.
Skeletons.
There's all kinds of
There's a
very
lot.
interesting
Huh.
tropes. I mean, I have a Schoenberg, and it's remarked. It's like Hitler panel, hypodermic overdose. It's it's all just remarked at the top of the book. Because those are the types of tropes that.
Degrassi said
Golden Age
Betty and
flick.
Veronica, Laverne and Shirley, or Tango and Cash.
I'm taking Laverne. No, I'm taking Shirley because she was the brunette. I'm
I'm
taking
always taking
Kurt.
Veronica.
I'm taking Kurt Russell, and I'm taking which one was Betty? The blonde?
Betty was a blonde. Veronica was a brunette.
Okay, I'm a
Veronica.
Veronica guy. I'm a Veronica.
Veronica.
Guy. Yeah,
I'm a big Veronica fan.
I love that dark hair. I love that dark hair. Don't get
Most
me
of my
wrong, the
Golden
blondes are
Age.
great.
Most of my Golden Age
Bubblegum. Yes,
Archie is,
bubblegum covers.
is Veronica
They,
stuff.
they love covers with people blowing bubbles with bubblegum on covers too. That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's more of a modern trope
Yeah.
that people like, but you still get it in a lot of some.
We got
Submariner.
Submariner comics from number 38 from 1938. Oh no, that's supposed to be 1955. Sorry.
I love how flat
CG7
that was back then.
1380.
He said flapping.
Yeah, look how flat it is. They always drew him with the literally a completely flat tabletop surface for
Yep.
his head.
Yeah, I don't get it. What? Yeah, right? Was that just the art? I don't. Yeah. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
The old Submariner was.
Kurt
always like
Russell
that
does
before
look better in a dress. He does.
Oh, that's right. Kurt Russell did wear a dress in Tango and Cash. I forgot about that. Terry Hatcher. Yeah, that's a good movie. I don't care. And I'm a Kurt Russell guy. I love him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
That's a great cover. Next up, we got Batman number 4 from 1940 at 2.5, so for
Wow.
$2,400.
I can't believe that got a 2. I can't believe that got a 2.5.
The only thing missing is the rubber shark hanging off his leg. Like, really, that's the only thing missing. Like, that's a great cover. That is a great. I really like them old school covers. I love that old. That's just something about them.
The colors, primary colors always.
Well,
pop.
and they
always been
always-
great yellow or red.
And they always curved out his cape. They would always curve out his cape,
Yes.
even if he was standing still. They would curve out his cape. I love that shit, man.
That's a Bob Kane cover too, isn't it? I believe it is.
Yes, Bob Kane and Kerry Robinson for Bill Finger story. It's the 4th appearance of the Joker, first appearance of Hacienda.
That's
I just
actually
I
the
never
price on that
understood.
is not bad.
It's not for a 2.5.
Like I would expect that book to be a 1.8 based on how it kind of
It's falling apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen like Golden Age. Yeah, with every age, there's certain graces one gives a book. With Golden Age, you get a lot more grace than you would Silver Age, which is going to have more grace than the Bronze and then Modern and everything else. But I mean that one. I mean, I guess it's bad, but it's not bad. But I I don't know. I would wonder whether that's
10
attached.
cents, man. 10 cents.
Imagine. Next up, we got National Comics 45 for Quality Comics 1944, a 9.6.
That looks
So
like a,
this is almost perfect from 1944, $1,020.
That is amazing for a 9.6.
Yeah.
That's just
what's
so
that
clean.
called? That era where the strong men with the handlebar mustaches and stuff. What was that era called? Not Broad Street. It was called something else. You guys know what I'm talking about,
all
though,
like
right?
vaudeville.
Vaudeville. Vaudeville. There, thank you. See,
Yeah.
that has a vaudeville vibe to it right there. Because you got
Yep.
the strong man, you know.
It's fat lady.
Old Carnival.
Yep. That's
Good price.
impressive though, for a 9.6 at that. That's
A grand.
You don't see comic books in this greater condition from 1944. This is just, it's very rare to see something like this.
no, and the fact that there's, I mean, it's not uncommon to have writing on a cover
Mhm.
Of Golden Age stuff. To have the writing on there and it's still holding, I wonder if that might be a
Hold
pedigree
on,
as
I'll
well.
bring it up. It looks like a pedigree. It says D.
Because I'm wondering whether it's one of the could be a cryptid. The pedigree people are weird because a lot of them have their own way of marking a book or serial numbering a book and stuff
Mhm.
like that. It's a whole nother weird rabbit hole of comics. But yeah, for it to have writing on it, if it's not specific pedigree writing and it's still get a 9.6, that's impressive.
Kurt Russell is the only actor to play Elvis who was in a movie with Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
He was a hell of a baseball player too, since his dad ran a minor league team.
All right. Next up,
Ooh.
here's some recommended pickups for this week.
I love Vampirella's bangs in that.
Yeah,
Look how they drew her bangs.
Bangs are always sexy.
Yeah, that is really hot, dude. I like bangs. TCB and Joe, we're on the same page, man. We like the same type of shit.
I'm
They
an
have-
old rockabilly boy from way back, so that's.
All right. This week, recommended pickups are Ultimate X-Men #1, Weapon X-Men #1, and Spectacular Spider-Man #1.
I love that whoever drew that style of Wolverine, man. Or is that
Big one.
Sabretooth?
Where? That's Wolverine.
Weapon
what-
X, dude. That's such a great version of him. Wow. That Weapon X-Men.
Yeah, it's great. I do
Oh
love,
my god! I just realized what the stripes are for. That's so cool. The claws. I just caught that. Like, oh wow, shink.
And then we have Batman 145. We have Blood Hunt Diaries, which is a free book, and it's going to have interviews and what's going on with this event that's coming up with vampires and the Marvel Universe. And The Fog #1. These are some recommended books to pick up for light reading. And Batman's starting a new arc this week, so perfect place to jump on.
The Fog is definitely piqued my interest in James Stark. That lunatic. Yeah, I definitely want to.
Yeah, he's a lunatic.
Yeah, if Twilight's a good read, it's well done.
And next up, we have the final segment of the show. FOC, final cutoff order for comic books that are releasing in end of March, early April. Forgot the
Should
date.
be beginning of April. Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone's FOC is a little bit different.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
going.
Most
Y'all
of
have
them
a
are
good
beginning
night.
of April. Take
All
care,
right,
Brian.
thanks, Brian.
Peace
Take
out,
care.
y'all.
Yeah, I think most of them are beginning of April.
So, Red 5 put this list together with a little help. He's not able to be here tonight, so I will do his FOC, Ultimate FOC.
Ultimate.
First up, we have Harley Quinn 38, the Souza Micah Women's History Month variant of. We have Harley Quinn #38, the 1 in 25 talk incentive. We have Harley Quinn 38, the cover B Dodson.
I like the Dotson.
And we have the Power Girl 7 Souza Micah Women's History Month variant.
Yeah,
Jesus.
like I said, I'm buying all the Sousa Micah Women's History Month.
I like Harley as a cowgirl. That's a pretty cool look. I've never seen her in
Yeah.
a cowboy hat before.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Power Girl, but I've seen like people cosplay her at Comic Cons and stuff.
You know two things about Power Girl.
Yeah, I do now. Like, dude, who drew that? Straight
That's
up,
the same one.
straight up Moose Knuckle, bro.
You know the artist that did the Poison Ivy?
Yeah.
She did
And-
the Harley
and
and the Power Girl.
Yo, she knows how to draw sexy. I'm gonna put it out there, and that's pushing a line, like, because there's some serious. I call it a moose knuckle. Other people call it camel toe. I call it a moose knuckle.
I prefer Moose Knuckle. as
Yeah, and wow, ninja slipper. That's one I made up.
Ninja
You ever seen a
Slipper.
ninja slipper
like
when
it.
the
Oh,
toes? I made myself laugh. Ninja slipper, but yeah, those are good covers, man. I like that.
Yeah,
cover.
I'm happy with the Dotson because I'm a big roller derby fan, and I love
Yeah, I
that
used to
cover.
be. I remember the old. What was was it the T-Birds? That was the big group. I remember watching old school roller derby.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was cool. And there was a movie about it with what's her face, who's not what's her face anymore.
Yeah, Paige.
Yeah. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, so let me do this.
That
Bring that
cowgirl
to you.
one's really good though, man. That's
This is
a really
the
good.
artist. Souza Micah.
That says my.
Great artist. Her work is phenomenal. You can find her on Instagram under Souza Micah, SOZOMAIKA.
You know, I don't
Somebody
mind
should-
looking at art like this. I enjoy. I love looking at other people's art, but and I'm not gonna like be too arrogant, but I know I am a great artist. Okay, I know I'm a great artist, and these people make me look like I'm drawing in a fucking crayon. That is some of the art that I've seen lately with comic books, and especially
Mhm.
like airbrush cover, like the paintings. Or the stuff what's his face is doing with his daughter for Star Wars, Vanderstelt.
The crazy thing is there's so many mediums now in comics.
Blows my mind.
So many people doing heavy digital stuff, and you
Mm-hmm.
have still people doing oil. You have people, yeah.
Oil
a
and ink
lot
will
of
always be
different-
my favorite, but I'm old school. I love oil. I love ink. I love
I
traditional.
agree.
But man, some of the stuff they're doing, and I love airbrushing. That's like the one thing that I'm probably best at. But I just get sick of doing the same shit, Bruce. Hey, we need pinstripes. We need racing stripes. Can you put tribal art? I get so sick of it, bro. You know what I mean?
Tribal. Are people still doing tribal?
Well, that's what they call it on cars. They call it
Ah.
curvature. It's curvature tribal, then there's traditional tribal, and then there's bone tribal. There's all the and yeah, people are still doing it. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't have the steady hand to do the pinstriping, but I can airbrush it. I'll tell you what, I can airbrush some pretty good stuff, but it takes so long. I wonder how long it takes for them to do a cover like this. Like how many hours do they put into it? I wonder.
I'm trying to find some of her best covers that
That Harley is one of her best. This
Yes,
one
that's
is
one of her
the
best.
best ones she's done in a while. But all of her stuff is good. I mean,
There
most
we
of
go.
her stuff is Catwoman.
this
stuff.
is one of my favorite covers by her. It's the New Year's
Is
Eve.
that digital?
No, I
No,
believe
there's no
No,
way
that's
I
not
believe
digital.
She does now. Yeah.
This is a great cover. I love this cover. And where's the other one? This one where she's never mind. Did it switch over? No, this the holding the diamond in the mouth. That was a great cover.
Yeah, that is really cool. That's real subtle. 'Cause, you
I
know,
mean,
the
like I
Catwoman, you
said-
put that diamond in her mouth. That's really subtle.
I mean, you're getting more and more people. They're just going to use digital because it's easier. And
Yep.
the people, the age they are now coming into the industry, that's what they learned on in a lot of cases to be
Okay.
able to do the coloring effects and stuff like that. And
This cover is the one that actually got her noticed by a lot of fans.
Well, look at it. It's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Penthouse
Mhm.
2 is good. Is good.
Yep.
The 1 in 10.
Yep.
She
And
put
she's
the
doing a lot of
lighting.
work.
She put the lighting on the latex shines.
Yes,
in
she
all
does
the
shine.
in all the right places. All the right.
She does
places.
shine and sparkle so well on covers.
I
Man.
still haven't seen her draw a man yet.
You know what I would like to see though? I don't know
We
if
don't
there's
need
one
to see
out
it
there.
over
I'm
there,
sure
man.
there's one out there. Do they have a burlesque version of Harley?
No, I'm sure.
Probably.
I'm sure there's one out there somewhere. I mean, through the whole Bombshell series, everything was kind of more pinup style covers. So
Yep.
I'd have
All
to
right,
go
let's
through my Bombshell run.
look.
And the
Look
Power Girl one,
on.
forget it. I would let that girl beat the shit out of me on a daily basis.
Next up, we have Suicide Squad kills Arkham #3, the Stephanie Hans.
That's
We
that's
have-
Amy Khan's cover, by the way. That's
We
nice.
have Duke #4, the Oliver
Oliver.
Incentive, the 1 in 50.
Always been a Duke guy. Don't get me wrong. I like Flint. Fuck General Hawk. Always been a
We-
Duke guy.
We got Monstrous #50, cover D, the Cave.
Every
And we
monstrous
have
cover, every
Red
monstrous cover. is great.
Sonia #9, the 1 in 15. Jenny Frizen, Virgin Incentive, which I spelled incentive wrong because I was tired when I did this.
Bro, these are mostly women drawing these covers.
but-
they are
but I'm
they
trying to
are
remember-
fucking killing it.
Yeah,
That's Sonya, whether it's because they were redoing all the legendary Sonya covers, the Frozen ones, re-releasing them.
you know, Chris, when you see or hear on social media about people ruining comics for the audience, women shouldn't be in comics, they shouldn't do comics. They are the forefront of art, a lot of the art on a lot of comic books.
Ooh, I don't
and they're
know
untouchable.
why would anybody say, let me tell you something. I work with some very talented people.
Mhm.
We are published, okay? We are published. Okay. And the women, girls in my shop like Micah and Ebony and Victoria, they are way better than us with their color correction and their waterwork. Dude, they're killing us. They're killing us. Women are, I'm telling you, man, I hate to sound like a simp, but women are out there crushing it, man. They're
crushing
it.
Here's some
Yeah,
great covers.
I mean,
I
I
love
agree.
that Prison.
I agree, King. I prefer hand drawn stuff.
So do
more
I.
than
It's just
digital.
very time consuming. If you want
I just hope that there doesn't come a day where Marvel or DC allows an artist or anyone to use AI
yeah,
for
that's one.
covers. I don't want that.
I'm pretty tight with Matt Jarbo, and he is an AI advocate. But the one thing me and him disagree on big time is AI art. Like if you're not selling it or the transfer of whatever transfer of IP, I don't dig none of that shit.
Right.
I've seen some of my stuff, no joke. I'm not even making this up. I have done stuff with X-Wing fighters and things like that. And I used to work for Deviant. Okay. And I've seen my shit on t-shirts selling for fucking $17. I didn't get a nickel. My art, mine.
Yeah,
That pisses me off. And that's what AI will do, man. Like people think, oh, AI is not gonna. Okay, I'm not saying we're gonna have T800s in the next 10 years. We're not gonna have Terminators, but I can see a lot of people's art getting stolen. I could
Yeah, I mean,
I just
the
I
problem
just
is
want
that-
artists. I just want artists to get paid and recognized for their work if AI is pulling from their creations.
Yeah, then
that's
they-
all
yeah,
I
Yeah,
want.
but
my God.
it's going to be very hard to prove
Yeah,
I know.
what
it will be.
AI is pulling from because you have a bunch of proprietary shit in the back end making those decisions, and it's not going to tell you I use blah blah blah.
I
But
always
there
hide
are-
my signature in the art, Joe. I always hide my signature in the art. I hide it. And so if somebody steals it later on, you can see my signature. Like,
I mean,
hide it.
there are AI tools that are useful. That's why I think we need to
Mhm.
get some artists on and stuff like that to talk about it.
Yeah,
Because I hate
that's
talking out
true.
of turn about it as well. Because I went down this rabbit hole in Penthouse Comics, had that one cover, and they screwed it up and said it was limited to 500 when it wasn't, and it ended up being an AI generated cover. And there's a bunch of controversy back and forth, and I mean, there's a lot of artists that are very much against it because they feel, you're going to take their intellectual property or squeeze them out of a market. Because even if they're not taking their stuff, AI can generate some pretty badass looking stuff.
No, it can.
It
It
can.
can.
It
It
can.
really can.
But to another extent, there are tools that artists can use in terms of using AI as a tool, not as the thing to create your picture, but tools within AI to help artists refine certain things and do certain things.
That's okay. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. That's the part
Yeah.
I'm okay with. It can be a learning tool. It can be a teacher. I'm okay with that. It's when you start robbing artists of something they put 40 hours
Yep.
into and you get it for 40 seconds. Fuck that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because my average picture will be between 28 and 40 hours. My average painting or my average airbrushing. And for someone to steal that in 40 seconds, I'm gonna move some furniture. I'm gonna move some furniture straight up.
But I mean, not even AI. Anybody could do that. If you had it digitally anywhere, somebody could just download the JPEG, throw it up on some T-shirt shop, and just
that's
sell it.
that's why I quit Deviant. I used to see a lot of artists on there I like, but I saw Deviant stealing a lot of people's shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing this.
All right. Next up, Marvel has a series of vampire covers coming out.
And that's it. A computer. Oh, okay.
I got a presentation here, buddy. We got Avengers.
I thought that computer chip thing. I was looking at that motherboard. I was like, ooh.
I was like, Avengers 12. Pete Wood's vampire variant. Captain America #8, the David Yarden variant.
Yeah, that's cool. That middle one's
Immortal
really
cool. Thor #9, Sergio Davila. And Shadow of the Green Goblin #1, the Dan Panosian. These are all homage to horror comic books, horror covers from the past. Different takes, but different artists using Marvel superheroes.
Well, that old school Captain America one's dope, but I love that Green Goblin.
I like the Captain America.
Yeah, I wish they would have done a little better job with the homages.
Yeah,
but
the Avengers is okay. The Thor, meh. I don't like the way they made Thor look.
Vision's looking pretty rad in that one. I like that. That's Vision. Yeah, he's looking pretty rad.
Yeah, that's Vision.
But the Captain America is probably my favorite one. But Green Goblin holding Spider-Man, like that's pretty cool too. That was pretty dope.
And the next three we have Avengers of Moon Knight #4, Elizabeth Tork. We have Venom 32, Stephen Mooney. And we have X-Men 32, Lee Garbett.
I don't like Venom books because I find Venom boring as hell, but I really do like this cover. This picture doesn't do it as much justice as if the colors are like what I saw in the preview. The colors pop a lot more in terms of the reds and the green. There's a lot more contrast in the color, and it really popped. It looked like it could be a cool cover.
Everything on that X-Men one, everything on the X-Men cover is great, except I hate how they drew her mouth.
It looks like she should be drooling.
Yeah,
is she drooling?
Yeah, I don't know.
Blood coming out?
Yeah, that's a weird because everybody else looks great. I love the bodies.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope as shit, bro.
What's that? X-Men annual what? You remember what annual is a homage to? The Storm cover?
I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about the Doctor.
Yeah, the original cover has Storm holding who was it? Kitty? No, it wasn't Kitty. I forgot who she was holding.
Which one is it? Damn.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. Next up, Duke #2 is getting a second printing, going back to the press to release a new cover with Baroness.
Never knock a Baroness cover. They'll always sell Baroness covers.
I don't know. Her legs seem a little long.
It doesn't matter. People still buy Baroness covers. I mean, I'm not buying it, but there will be people that'll buy it just because it's a Baroness cover.
Hey, what's up, Comic Vet?
I think they should have done a little bit better because they could have ratcheted up some serious sales with some better Baroness covers.
It's like the Transformers 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and Void Rivals 7th print or 8th printing, whatever they're up to now.
7th, I think.
Next up, we got Batman. Batman is going back to the printings. Batman 142 is getting a third printing.
Lazy.
Thank you. I didn't want to piss nobody off. But I was about to say the same thing. That's a lazy ass shit.
Just changed. All they did was change the colors, which now makes no sense because it made sense when he was holding the red hood.
Now, yeah, now
Hell
you
no.
can't even see it spread. It's just green and purple. So it's all Joker centric. Get the fuck out of here. I don't like that.
Then we have Batman 143 getting a second printing.
Ugh. Well, I don't like this color scheme at all. Is it all themed out purple and green?
And then it was a three part story. The Joker year one, telling his origin again. We have Batman. I actually like this one. Batman 144 second print with Jim
But
Gordon. And
It's the same. It's the same goddamn cover. They just
I
changed.
know
the
it's the same
colors.
color, but different colors. At least it's not a 1 in 25. It's just a regular.
Yeah,
$4.99 cover.
I just find it lazy. It's like people would get excited about a second and a third print of this book if you gave them different art, and it would sell exceptionally well. But this lazy. Here's what the original cover was. Watch us just tweak the colors, which somebody can do in Photoshop. And
Photoshop, exactly. They just that's it. They just color corrected it. They didn't even redraw anything. Like,
yeah.
I'm not even a comic book guy, and that pisses me off.
Nice stuff.
It's lazy, lazy.
From the creators of Stray Dogs comes Feral. We got some Feral by Trish Forstner and Tony Fleeks. It's post-apocalyptic cats and zombies.
I don't know why, but that sounds cool.
That's
It just
Yeah,
does.
you know-
That sounds cool. That's something different. I like if you can look at something and go, wow, that's so different.
Yeah,
That'll draw me
Dawn of
in.
the Dead. I love
No.
Dawn of the Dead. How much?
It'll really impress me, Chris, if you can name the homage covers. What are they homaging? Well, you already said one of them, Joe.
Yeah,
I
Dawn of the Dead. I don't the all white one. Is that
That's
It's
a
just
blank,
blank.
sketch cover, so
Oh,
artists
okay.
can draw on it.
okay? Because it's giving me. I don't know how it would tie in, but it's giving me Fargo vibes.
sorry.
That white
Dawn,
cover.
Dawn of the Dead is very special to me.
I didn't like.
So-
I didn't like they did this. They took the A cover and made it. Just took off the trade dress and made it a 1 in 10.
Yeah, but that happens all
What
the
was
time.
that the
I
original
don't mind it
cover
for a
of?
long time.
What was that the original cover of right there?
The
With
cover
cat?
A. They just took off the
It,
trade
it
dress.
wasn't the A cover's not an homage to anything.
It's not a homage. Then we have the 1 in 25 Sweeney
Oh,
Boo.
Sweeney Boo.
I love Sweeney Boo. I like this cover.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that cover. Though. It doesn't do much for me. For a 1 in 25, I want more.
I'm not buying it. Then we have 1 in 50 by Trish and Tony.
Ooh, that's Day of the Dead.
Yes.
That's Day of the Dead.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Nice.
And then the final cover. Like the final.
I got
It's the
one.
mo-
Check me out.
The 1 in 100, Trish and Tony.
That's Night of the Living
Night of the
Dead.
Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. Yep.
Night of the Feral Cats. So this book is probably going to, day one when it releases, is probably going to go for anywhere between 125 to 150. Because the retailers
Wow.
had to order 100 copies of that
Yeah,
A cover, this first cover.
It's very tough. for
Is
me.
that a one-off? Is that a one-off story in that book right there?
I think
No,
it's a limited
it'll be a
series.
series. It'll be a limited series.
Man, because I
Probably
might
5
buy
issues, 6
the
issues.
Night of the Living Dead one. I might actually buy as a collector. Like that might be my first one that I buy as because
this
that's
one?
dope. The Night of the Living Dead one.
Yeah, it kills me because they're all those movies are very nostalgic for me because
Oh,
I
yeah,
used to
George,
go.
I
I used
love-
to go to the Dawn of the Dead Mall.
Yeah.
where Dawn of the Dead was filmed. I used to go there every weekend with my parents, and because I lived right near there, and Night of the Living Dead was filmed right near my grandparents' house. So it's just always.
I'm older. I don't know if I'm older than you guys or not, but I'm 49, and I can remember an old show used to be on the USA Network called Night Flight, and you'd get one weekend you might get, and it came on like midnight and lasted till like 5 in. You might get
Wow.
you might get Duran Duran videos. You might get some heavy metal. You might get a movie.
Might get some silk stockings.
Yeah, and the first thing I ever saw, I was a kid, and I saw Night of the Living Dead, and it fucked me up. I was hooked, man. When I'm like, they're fucking eating people. I was just a kid. I was just a little kid. It messed me up. And I even remember as a little kid, the part that always messed me up was when the little girl turned into a zombie. why did she not eat her mom? Why did she stab her mom?
Mm.
I never understood that. I never understood why she stabbed her mom because I thought they craved flesh, or maybe she. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Knight was building out and trying to define a genre, start
I've
something.
I've watched so many documentaries about it, Joe. Like when he said that they were on their way to deliver the first cut of that movie, and they had heard over the radio about Martin Luther King's assassination. Like that kind of shit blows my mind. They made that shit, put it in a trunk, and then George Romero became the zombie guy.
Yeah.
You know.
And the last book on FOC.
And shout out to Tom
But-
Savini. I don't want to leave him out. I'm sorry.
He
But
went to my high school.
we have Beneath the Trees When Nobody Sees, number 5, cover A, cover B, and 1 in 25.
Are those two bears fighting?
Well, it's about think
It's
Animal
an-
Farm, but with a bear serial killer. It's
Bro,
it's real.
Hold
It's
on.
really
Hold
well
on.
done.
Hold on.
Yes.
Because I read Animal Farm. It's a great book. I understand it. It's got fascism tones and everything. But when you said think bears and a serial killer, that bro.
It's like an anthropomorphic. You have all the
Yeah.
Now I want to read it.
characters.
A
and, yeah,
bear serial killer? Like what the
bear
fuck?
Yes.
A mass murderer or a serial killer?
serial killer.
Serial
Oh
killer.
my god, I'm in.
But all the characters are animals, so it's
That is fucking awesome. That is awesome. Like that's some shit. Like you don't come on, man. How cool is it to say that? Hey, what are you reading? Oh, I'm reading this book that's just like Animal Farm, but there's a fucking grizzly bear. That's a serial killer.
Here is the cover to the first issue. First issue is expensive because everybody wanted this book and it was hard to find. So here's the first cover. Dragging a dead body in a bag.
Wow. Wow. And it's like, but here's what's crazy. Look at the juxtaposition of tone. And I don't mean tone of colors. I mean tone of what's happening. It's all
And that's-
flowery and happy and pretty.
Yeah.
And this
It's-
little kid is dragging a dead fucking body he chopped up. That's insane.
it's supposed to feel like children's book, like a Richard Scarry
Yes.
type children's book. or whatever.
Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Man, Berenstain's
With the dark
Bears meet
undertones.
Ted Bundy. That's fucking crazy. I'm in. Up all night. I remember her. That is so cool to me, man. I don't know why, but that is so cool. What does it mean when to read all the evil shit? I want to read evil Tony Stark. I want to read the super. Wow.
Because villains are always more interesting than heroes.
Yeah, and the story of how they got there is always more interesting too.
Yep.
It really
Yeah.
is.
So
With
subscribe to
your
the channel.
fucking Cub Scout fucking badge. You're a
My
Cub
Cub
Scout. You
Scout
fucking Boy
badge.
Scout.
I am a Boy Scout. I was a Boy Scout for like 10
Well,
minutes.
listen. What would the Batman be without the Joker?
Very boring.
He'll be Batman with other villains.
Okay, but
No.
Joker.
Batman's a tough one because he has such a good rogues game.
He has a
Yeah.
ton of great villains, but the Joker is the standout. Not my favorite though. My favorite's Deathstroke, but still, the Joker is the
Deathstroke-
standout.
That shows he's not his villain.
Well, he's a anti-hero, but
He's
hate-
never been Batman's villain. They
really
just
because he
did
whooped
that for
my
the
ass.
movies.
Really because he whooped my ass for about 12 hours in a video game once. I couldn't beat him.
Injustice?
Yeah, no. The Batman Arkham Origins, the one where you actually have to fight Deathstroke. It's really fun. Nobody likes.
That's a recent thing when they're trying to push this whole Batman.
I didn't know that. I just know that Deathstroke is. Well, who is he? Is he Green Arrow?
No,
Who's he the main-
Nightwing. In the beginning, you
Really?
see Robin and the Teen Titans because he was a Teen Titans villain.
See, I thought
Yeah.
that was the new shit. I thought that was the new stuff.
Mm-mm.
No
Yeah, when-
kidding.
When Deathstroke first premiered, they had a storyline called the Judas Contract, and the
Ooh, that was-
character
Yeah.
Kara. Let's just say they couldn't do that story now.
No. I heard it was very problematic. There's a Punisher one too.
Yes.
In the Punisher,
Very.
did one like that. What was the Punisher one? They were like, ooh, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, they've had some. You couldn't do that now. See, Brodan, he is a DC fanatic. Like, and he'll get mad. Like, he'll take it to that level. Like, if I say, man, I don't give a fuck about Raven, I don't give a fuck who her dad is, bro, he'll get like legit mad.
What?
Yeah. No, bro, Dan has him and Dade have a serious, like, they know their shit, man. But Brodan's been like so far away for so long now. He doesn't want to come back to YouTube because he says it makes him a mean person. He doesn't want to be a mean person. But whenever I talk to him about DC, man, he always brings up Teen Titans and he always brings up Raven. And what's Raven's dad's name? The guy Trigon. Man. Yeah. Fuck Thanos, Chris. You fucking, why is Thanos your favorite villain? Thanos is a pussy. And I'm like, because I can relate to Thanos, because I can relate to Thanos, you know, I can relate to Nebula, I can relate to what's happening, I can relate to it, not just in the movies, but the comics themselves. You know, I thought that was a bad move for Avengers Endgame to leave Adam out of it and Nebula's storyline, and it was still good, but Brodan's always like, fuck that, fuck Darkseid, man, Trigon, bro. Like, he's all about the new gods. He's all about the new gods, bro.
All right. We've been here almost 3 hours. I didn't
Great
even notice.
stream.
Thank you.
Stuff.
Fun times. Fun times. Thank you, everyone, for
I gotta
watching.
get some sleep. Some of us have to work tomorrow morning.
I do not have to work until the 7th, but I'm getting over COVID. But yeah, I'm gonna dip out of here too. As a matter of fact, right now, you know what you've inspired me to do?
What?
I'm gonna go pick a fight with Brodan about DC
Nice.
All right,
So
you guys be good.
Hit the,
care.
hit the like button. Thank you for everyone for hanging out. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Monday Madness 1K giveaway show, fun games and times, and free stuff usually. So thank you everyone for watching this long. Thank you, Joe, and have a good night.